Ho-hum. Alright, boys! Hello, welcome back to Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, where we're in the middle of court. Let me get this show on the road. I'm ready. I'm prepared. I need to move my water. This isn't a very good spot for it, I am realizing. And things have happened in the last one. Oh, there's our, what's his name? The alchemist, Dr. something. And his butler, Jean Grey Earl, who is a girl. That's the consensus we came to in the last time, and we think that Jean is the witch that's getting Maya accused of being a witch, and we gotta make sure that we keep her safe because we can't let Maya burn in the hellfires. All of this matters very much to me. So I gotta do a good job today in court. I'm sending out a couple of text messages. I gotta put my thinking cap on. Hellos are in order. Tito TJ. Hello. Welcome. Zach. Hello. Pink Piano. Good to see you're back. Cosmetology Corner. My day was fantastic. Clifford Longhead. Good to see you back in the chat, buddy. Curtis Price. Hello. Jacob Welsh. Sound seems good so far. Just a heads up for the Ace Attorney games released on the 3DS. Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice, they each have a DLC case, so don't forget to buy them before the eShop gets taken down. Oh! That is a very good point, Jacob Welsh. I should for sure make sure that I have download content secure for those games. So, thank you for putting that on my radar. And Tom Leah making some mac and cheese. Delicious for a dinner. I had ground turkey. I eat a lot of ground turkey these days on my meal plan, so that's going to be a thing that continues onward, I think. I want to adjust my lighting just a little bit. I know I hate myself whenever I do this, and it probably makes a minimal difference, except for fucking me up a little bit, but there's that. I'm wearing my aquarium shirt. I don't know why it's being green screened out because it's very much white, not green, but since you can't really see it anyways, I'm not too concerned. Oh, God, what a day. I'm sure we have a lot of trial time ahead of us still. These trials, they go on for a hot minute, actually. But it's okay. I'm confident I'm going to help my bestie. Anything new going on in my life? Not particularly at the moment. Today was a day of doing chores and going to the gym like usual. You gotta get into a routine with these things. And so my routine is go to the gym daily. It's all part of my business scheme for my friend's account. This is it. Maya's trial. We were finally able to make some headway in the case. It seems like they're trying to accuse her of that other incident, too. We're dealing with one tough customer. Stephen, hello, welcome to the chat. The real culprit is a witch. That much I'm certain of. But the question is, who? I think I know the answer. The butler did it! What did we say in the study with the candlestick? We might have been wrong about a couple of details. But the butler did do it in this little clue mystery. Jean Grey Earl. I think if I'm gonna let them take Maya, if they think I'm gonna let them take Maya, they've got another thing coming. Here to save the day. Oh my god, we moved him into the lobby. Is it necessary to transport him this much? So it's gotta be that, butler? Hey, they let her out of the cage. That's a promising sign. I know what you're thinking. I couldn't quite believe it at first either. But the evidence and circumstances all point to the butler. He, or she, or they, has to be the witch. At least, it'll be certain if the magic gem turns out to be a fake. But if that's the case, then Belduk's murderer was also... Yeah, it would be Grey Earl. Sir Belduk, that was his name. The alchemist. He was murdered by his own assistant. Probably wasn't paying her well enough. No, it can't be true. He wouldn't have done that. Why not? Espella? I know, Jean. He held Sir Belduk in the greatest of respect. Jean didn't kill him, I'm sure of it. Jean Grey Earl, are you really what people think you are? I don't know. I don't know if we can trust these witches. Oh, I got something in my eye. There's still so many unknown factors to this trial. Ah! Well, speak of... Actually, we weren't talking about you at all, because you're so unmemorable as a character. But you know what? While you're here, do you got some apologizing to do? Luke! I'm sorry, Maya. What I did was unforgivable. Well, fine. I suppose it's not unforgivable. You are just a dumb child. I can let it slide. Because you're apologizing. Apologies are important. What are you saying, Luke? All you did was testify about what you saw. But I should have trusted you. Well, you trust us now, right? Maya? Anyway, Luke, it was thanks to you that we discovered the new information. Thanks to me? Sure thing. You got Cracker to testify. That was a great idea. I wish I could talk to animals. Don't you too, Isabella? Oh, yes. I'd love to have a chat with Eve. So, Luke, can you teach us how to do it? Pretty please? Of course I can try. The thing was, I actually got my powers when I was in the African deserts and I rescued a hog from, maybe it was a rainforest, from a trap, and then he actually turned into a witch doctor and he cast a spell on me and let me speak to animals, but I wasn't supposed to tell anybody about it. But then you fast forward a couple of years and there was a little tiny leopard cub that got kidnapped by some poachers, and then I told my secrets to my sister, and when I did, I lost my powers in a very dramatic flare of events. But then I had to rescue these elephants that were going to run into an electric fence and die, so I had to get my powers back from the witch doctor. So I made a bargain with him, and he kind of gave me a little bit of leeway room to tell a couple of important people in my life about my powers to talk to animals. Wow. Okay, so that's a promise, right? Mr. Wright? Huh? What is it, Luke? Do you mind if I join you from now on? Fine. Yeah, that's a great idea, Luke. Why don't you hang out with me? Thunder Phoenix survives. A witch doctor? To the flames! Burn him in hell! I realized during the trial that in this strange town, even what you see with your own eyes may not be real. Origin of Luke Thornberry. That's why I'm not giving up yet. Professor, I know he'll return. We can't give up hope. You know, that's what I've been thinking too. Really? I have a feeling he'll reappear again. You know, when we get into trouble and we need to be helped out by somebody. Because, I mean, it's the professor we're talking about here. He's a main character. Bad things can't happen to main characters in video games. Right! And remember what he always says. Look forward to the future, and to look on the bright side. I don't think it was the professor who said that, but go off, Maya. Defender, accused, intermission's over, return to the courtroom. Oi. Alright, let's go. It's about time we bring this trial to a close. Dave Abler, hello, welcome to the chat. Oh, I have something for you, Mr. Wright. Here, please take it. Maybe it'll come in handy in the trial. A letter? Well, let's see who it's from. Wait a second. Newton Belduk? Luke, what are you doing with this? There's several sheets of parchment inside, but they're all blank. Right, Luke and Layton, they got this letter delivered from some kind of owl or bird or a fowl of some kind gave them blank parchment from Sir Belduk. The professor and I got this when we went to see the storyteller. Right. Well, thank you, Luke. The more info we have, the better. You're welcome. Blank letter. Contains only blank sheets of parchment. So, do we think that Sir Belduk was a witch? Or do we think that he wrote a letter in, like, invisible ink, maybe? That might be the vibe that's going on here. I've got no proof that it was Jean Grey Earl who turned the professor into gold. Even if the magic gem is a fake, it's still not decisive evidence. I don't know what will happen next, but I know that this battle is far from over. Oh, God. They let her out just to throw her back in. Girl, how do you even get up in that cage, honestly? Poor Maya. I get real uncomfortable seeing her just dangle over the pit of fire. We will now resume the trial of Maya Fey. First things first, the occult crime analysts have finished examining the evidence. They have tested the 2 magic gems from the witch's scepter. Okay, and the results? Godor floated on the surface of the water, whereas Familia sank. It was said that genuine magic gems float in pure water, wasn't it? That's right. Thus it has been established that the Familia magic gem is a fake. Whew, alright, well that's good news for us, that's a start. Order in the court. This does not prove that Godor was used, of course. Nonetheless, the defense's theory does now seem more plausible. The court considers it worth looking into. You have no objection to that, do you, Inquisitor Barnum? No, my lord. Alright, updated in the court record. Get some water in my system. Now then, bring in the witness. Oh my god, do we actually get to cross-examine just one singular witness for once? This'll be refreshing. The group witnesses is a cool concept. It definitely shakes things up, but my god, it's a lot on my throat. To take that many boys all at once. Ugh. Just in my dreams. A lot less fun in reality. Witness! State your name and profession. My name is Jean Grey Earl. I served the late Master Belduk. Since his death, I have been tending to his dwelling and putting his research materials in order. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's something a bit different about Grey Earl today. Witness, there is something we need to clarify, first of all. As you are no doubt aware, you have been accused of being a witch. Therefore, it is vital that you tell us. Are you a boy or a girl? Please, hold on. What is it? Excuse my rudeness, my lord, but at this time, I do not intend to answer that question. I think you kind of have to. You're on trial here. Well, actually, I guess you're only a witness, but still, why do you refuse to answer, witness? I had been following this trial from the gallery, and so I'm fully aware of the utterly absurd accusations made against me. Alchemy, the art pursued by Master Belduk, is concerned with the rules of logic that govern nature. As someone who had been helping Master Belduk for quite some time, I dare say your theory is both illogical and impossible.
Objection!
The witch's scepter was thrown into the crime scene through a portal created by the magical spell Godor. The portal could only have been opened from your room. And what's more, one of the walls in your room is painted green. I believe anyone is free to paint the walls whichever color they please. Besides, your theory relies on one magic gem being a fake. While that may have been proven true, another question has arisen. Where could the genuine magic gem be? Well, must have been swapped with the fake one and discarded somewhere. I'm afraid that's impossible. Why is that? If we assume, as you have claimed, that the witch used the spell Godor, that would mean the magic gem must have been swapped after creating the portal. So tell me, when and where would the witch have disposed of the magic gem? I see your point. Several people have paid witness to the incident, and the Knights of the Inquisition arrived at the scene immediately after. During that time, no one left the building, and the whole place was meticulously searched. Was it meticulously searched? You guys seem to have an uncanny ability to miss crucial evidence all the time. Naturally, my room was searched as well, although there was not much to see, as I have few personal belongings. Despite our inspection, nothing resembling a magic gem was found. I assure you, we have not overlooked a thing. I would swear it on my honor as a knight. So, Mr. Wright, if you wish to accuse me of being a witch, should you not prove first that there is a connection between me and this missing magic gem? Furthermore, I would appreciate if you could please approach the matter in a rational way, like an alchemist. The house was searched very soon after the crime. If the gem wasn't found, then it means Grey Earl hid it somewhere. Somewhere the Knights of the Inquisition wouldn't have looked. Where could it be? I mean, didn't Grey Earl... Am I making this up? Is this a false memory? Because I think Grey Earl is suspicious, but when we met Grey Earl, didn't somebody make a comment about, like, a lucky charm that was like an amethyst that Grey Earl has? Is that a false memory, or am I on the right track? Don't tell me, no spoilers, but that's the vibe I'm getting. The cage looks like a stripper's cage. Haha, guys, the worst thing about me, the saddest thing about me is that I can't dance. Being a stripper, oh my god, for at least a couple of years in your 20s would probably be so much fun. And if I had, like, the rhythm to gyrate my body in a way that looked sexy and not like, oh god, what's he doing? Does he need medical attention? I feel like I would have thoroughly enjoyed having a little bit of fun trying to be like a stripper in the bars. Nonetheless, I can't pull off, like, the sexy thing. There's people that do it, bless their hearts. There's guys on TikTok that, like, make a fortune off of just, like, swinging their hips in a way that just makes your jaw drop and go, oh, you're pretty. You also have to have, like, a really ruggedly handsome face. And listen, I think I pull off cute boy next door charm pretty well, and I'll take it. I'll take it any day of the week. I'll take what I can get. But, rugged, sexy man... Look, I know what my niche is, and my niche is more like boy next door charm, less ruggedly sexy man. It's a shame, it is what it is. The witness made a valid argument. How will the defense respond? You see here. The knights who searched Sir Belduk's premises, they weren't looking for a magic gem. That's why there's a certain place they didn't consider searching. Interesting. You really don't give up easily, do you? In that case, perhaps you could tell us all where the magic gem is. Oh, I intend to. I think it's in Grey Earl's possession. Because unless I'm having a false memory, that's what I think is the case. Sir Belduk's premises were thoroughly searched. I don't think anyone would have been missed there. Anything would have been missed there. You anticipated that, and that's why you hid it in a blind spot that you knew wouldn't occur to the knights. A blind spot, you say? Well, where is it? It's somewhere on Jean Grey Earl's person. Time for a cavity search. Bend over. What? It's on the witness? Don't tell me. The witness has it in their pocket? You're just guessing, aren't you? You think you can just say anything you'd like. By the way, I'm afraid there are no pockets in my clothing. This is the second time I've seen Grey Earl today. And both times I had a feeling that something wasn't quite right. Maybe it's just me, but it could be related to the whereabouts of the magic gem. Oh my god, I love this track that plays. This, like, you're on track, you're thinking. Defense, show us the location of the magic gem. Where do you think this witness hid the magic gem on the day of the crime? I think... Oh god, I wish I could see it. This is where my memory comes into play. I'm fully convinced that there was, like, a thing. And I think it was around her neck. His neck. Their neck. They, them's neck. I think there was, like, a green gemstone there. I don't know if I'm totally making it up. Or... Oh, wait a second. This might be cheating. I looked up a picture of this character for the thumbnail today. I wonder if there's a... I wonder if you can see it on the thumbnail. Oh my god, there is something there. There's something on the character that's not in here. It kind of counts as cheating, but I kind of remembered it on my own. I just had to look at my own thumbnail for a second. Something's missing from you. Witness! We met for the first time at Sir Belduk's premises. There it is. At that time, you had an amethyst attached to your collar. Oh, that's right. Mr. Grail always wears that gemstone. Odd thing to know about a random butler, but okay. Alchemists believe that amethysts emit positive energy. Amethysts are purple. But when I saw you in the waiting room this morning, the gemstone you were wearing was green, not purple. Oh! That's helpful, because Godor was green, and that confused me. But wow, that was a detail I totally missed. I mean, to be fair, since I had no reason to suspect Jean. That's a funny one. Oh, I mean, it's a good one. You have to have, like, a really good attention to detail to pick up on that, I feel. You guys let me know. Were you able to, like, spot that immediately, the swap in color of the gemstone? Because you could see, I was able to almost sort of pick up on it being missing versus it being there. But yeah, no, the color swap went right past me. Fuck. That's embarrassing. So, my question now is, where is it gone? Where is the amethyst that you supposedly always wear?
Objection!
Yeah, I figured you were coming through with some kind of objection. Lay it on me. Wait just a minute. The witness wears a purple gemstone. Something amiss, Inquisitor Barnum. When we arrived at the crime scene, the witness came out to meet us. I recall the witness wearing a gemstone, but that gemstone was green. Yeah, there it is. Green. Amethysts aren't green. Although, amateurs sometimes mistake Presoilite amethysts, but that's irrelevant now, right. Also, I did remember the word amethyst being used when they were talking about the charm. See, it wasn't a false memory, because I even Googled, I thought in my brain, oh, are amethysts green? Because, listen, I'm a biologist, not a geologist. Don't ask me about rocks. So, I Googled an amethyst, and when I saw that amethysts were purple, I was like, oh, fuck. Because I had a theory that the amethyst might have been the gemstone that Jean used to do the spell, and then I was like, oh, maybe I'm on the wrong track, because amethysts are purple. Because, again, that swap in color totally missed me, so it's just like, oof. Ah, dude, it's coming together. Witness, you've been trying to pin the blame on the defendant. In order to do that, you replaced the Godor magic gem with a regular gemstone. We thought the witch who killed Sir Belduk had used the spell Familia. You knew that if a witch's scepter with the Familia and Godor magic gems attached was discovered at the crime scene, the suspect would be accused of committing both crimes, and that's precisely what happened. The girl captured at the crime scene was accused of slaying both Sir Belduk and Sir Layton. That was your plan. Seems like all of it's coming together. I wonder what the fuck-up's gonna be that's gonna make this last 2 hours. You removed the Godor magic stone from the scepter and inserted your amethyst in its place. And then, you attached the Godor gem to your collar. That's why when we saw you, shortly after the incident, you were wearing a green gemstone. To think that was in fact a magic gem. Wow, we've even got Barnum on our side. It's going great right now. Yeah, yeah.
Is that true?
This amounts to nothing more than conjecture. I do not believe you have any solid proof.
Oh, you bitch.
However, I have to concede that you have surmised a logical connection between me and the missing magic gem.
Okay, less bitchy, thank you.
Consequently, I am prepared to answer your questions.
Okay.
Good. I will repeat what I asked you previously. Witness, state your name, profession, and finally, your gender.
Ooh! I mean, listen, in 2022, she could just pull a they, them and leave us all in the dark.
My name is Jean Grail. I have been serving the late Master Belduk. As you can see, I wear a butler's outfit. But the truth is, as the defense claims, I am a girl.
Oh! Ho-ho! Hi, Hunty. I didn't know you were a voice actor, too. Changing that up for you. Your little deep in voice. Oh my god, her hair is long! Oh, she's pretty.
A girl? Unbelievable.
I know, she's beautiful. Also, though, she's probably a witch. So, like, we should probably throw her to the fire.
What? The butler is a girl?
Everyone's shook. Order! Order in the court! Jean Greyhill, are you declaring to this court that you are in fact a female? Yes. But everyone in town was under the impression that you were a boy! Well, thank you. Did you hear that, Frankie? The butler's a girl! Doesn't that make him, a maid? I knew there was something suspicious about him. I mean, her. You know why, right? Think about it. All that alchemy, it's mighty sus, bruh. Just listen to them. Listen to the wild gossip and accusations. Alchemists pursue knowledge of the rules that govern nature. But to the townspeople, alchemy is no different to magic. God, you know what? Fuck, I'm gonna sympathize with this girl, because she's an intellectual. And so, like, I guess alchemy is probably the closest thing that this game will get to, like, real-world science. So, she's like more of a scientist than a witch. Unless she is, in fact, also a witch who is casting magic. Had they known I was a girl, they would have taken me for a witch. That's what Master Belduk was worried about. He told me it would be safer to pretend to be a boy. Are you sure he wasn't just trying to, like, manipulate you and groom you into playing out his fantasies? In other words, you disclose that you're a female but deny that you're a witch. I would have thought that was obvious. She knew that once her gender came into question, she wouldn't have been able to conceal it. So that's why she made it public now. It was the most rational choice for her, that's right. I mean, you can't hide it forever. That cavity search would have definitely revealed things. Inquisitor Barnum, may I ask you one question? Has all the evidence in this Golden Gentleman case already been presented? Why do you ask? As it stands, you don't have a single piece of evidence proving that I'm a witch. Given the lack of pertinent evidence against me, I would like to be permitted to return to my duties. She's sly. She's good. She knows what she's doing. Are you a lawyer, ma'am? What say you, Inquisitor Barnum? It has been proven that the two gems were swapped. However, it may also have been possible for the accused to have done so.
Objection!
Are you sure about that? Maya had no reason to swap the gems. This is a place of judgment. There's no need to understand the reason behind a criminal's actions. What? After all, those whom we judge are otherworldly creatures. They are witches. It is impossible for a human being to understand the reasoning of a witch. Oh god, more of these human beings. Listen, we're out of the Bean Kingdom here. Oh my god, Luke. Is there nothing we can do? At this rate, Maya will be... And Barnum still thinks Maya's a witch. We've made it so far, but it feels like we're back at stage 1. Fuck! It seems there are no more rational arguments against me. Now, if you will kindly excuse me. I don't have much on Greyhill. When it comes to the professor's case, at least. But do I really let her go? No, absolutely not. Ooh! Continue questioning or ask about another case. Interesting. I guess, well... I don't know if Barnum's gonna let us start asking her about an older case. Well, if he doesn't, then we'll work through it. There's nothing else I can follow up on regarding the professor's case. So what can I do? There's only one other option. Try and convict her for another crime. Miss Greyhill, I have to ask you to remain at the witness stand. Is there something else you wish to ask me? Your testimony isn't over yet. There's still something you need to tell us about. Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I cannot help you. I have told you all I could about this incident. Not this one, Hunty. I'm afraid you got the wrong idea, Miss Grayroll. Your Honor, what this witness needs to testify about is not the professor's unfortunate incident, but rather the incident from 3 months ago, Sir Belduk's death. As she was present in the building at the time, working as a live-in butler, she needs to testify about the events that day. About Sir Belduk's death? The fact that one of the magic gems was swapped leads me to a single conclusion. Both crimes, the murder of Sir Belduk and the transmutation of the professor, were the work of the same witch. The truth behind the alchemist's death may also hold the answer to this case. What is your opinion on this, Inquisitor Bonham? I'll allow you to have your way this time, Sir Blue Knight. The Inquisition has no objections. Ah, fantastic. Thank you, Daddy Zack. Inquisitor Zacharias Bonham, it seems that you've lost that unyielding attitude so admired by the townspeople. Oh, girl, Zach, don't fall for it. This is a woman's trick. They try to make you feel inferior just so they can get the upper hand on you. Here you are now, letting a novice defender lead you by the nose. It's hard to believe you have been known as the unswavering sword of justice for your unusually cool-headed judgment. Yeah, don't fall for her trickery. You know little about me, witness. Do you think I care about defending my name? It is this town I wish to defend. Ah, that's kind of hot, actually. A man who can set his ego aside. Sir Belduk's murder is the only case to remain unsolved for so long. Jean Grey Earl, you shall now testify about it. Alright, this is good. This is great. A cross-examination focused on one witness. This is where I gotta bring my A game. As demanded by both the defense and Inquisition, the witness will testify about Sir Belduk's death. Any questions? No, my lord. I must, however, mention one more thing before we begin. If it cannot be proven that Jean Grey Earl is a witch, as claimed by the defense, the court will irrevocably consider Maya Fey to be the witch responsible for both crimes. That doesn't seem very fair, actually. Is that understood? Well, you have no choice, Sir Blue Knight. If you don't want the trial to end right now, ready your sword and face the challenge that awaits. Okay, fine. It's a gamble that puts Maya's life at stake,
Nick?
so... Oh!
Nick!
Maya?
No witch is gonna outwit you in court. You're an ace attorney after all.
She believes in me!
So,
Girl.
let's do it!
Okay, I'm gonna do it for you. I'm gonna save your life. The defense accepts the conditions. Let's proceed with the trial. Inquisitor Bonham, you may begin. Okie doke. We shall start with a brief summary of the incident. About 3 months ago, in the dead of night, Sir Belduk the alchemist was murdered. The crime took place in his study just with this incident. The room had been locked from the inside. The victim was found still seated in the chair at his desk, so we can assume he was attacked while working. Right. There were very clear strangulation marks visible on his neck. Oh! There's something trickling down from his mouth. Is that blood? Yeah, that's what I noticed. Yes, most likely. The victim probably bit his tongue as he was struggling with his assailant. And you said earlier that some white powder was spilled all over the floor, correct? Yes. Hence, we expected to find the killer's footprints. However, there were none. The killer must have somehow approached the victim without stepping on the floor. Interesting. After murdering Sir Belduk, the killer left the room without opening the door. Ah, undoubtedly the crime must have been committed with the use of witchcraft. The body was discovered the following morning by the butler, Mr. Grey Earl. Body was found by Grey Earl, huh? Also, you misgendered her. Or I did. Probably me. I'm not very smart. Thank you, Inquisitor Barnum. The court illustrator's sketches will be added to the evidence. Great. I should probably look at those, shouldn't I? Witness, begin your testimony. 1 second. There's 3 of them? Details. Alright, so we got our guy slumped over in his chair. Interesting. Even 3 months ago, you got the green portal in the background, because you can see the green coming out from behind the painting. That... I think I already have a hypothesis about that. It'll be interesting to see how that comes into play. The blood in the mouth, that's a little confusing to me. And then, oh, this is different. A limp hand down at the ground, and the white powder with no footprints. Okay, well, we'll see how this all plays out. Whoops. Sorry. Tell us about the events spanning the night of the crime, from the evening beforehand until you discovered the body. Witness testimony. The night of the crime. At around 1 o'clock at night, I excused myself and left Master Belduk in his study. When I called him for breakfast in the morning, he didn't respond. The door to his study was locked. A neighbor had come for a visit just then, so we forced the door open together. All the potions and other concoctions from the study had already been confiscated. I wonder if they're being properly stored. Potions and concoctions, you say? They were confiscated? The victim was an alchemist, after all. We were hoping the items confiscated from his study could provide some clues. Besides, such things must not fall into the wrong hands. It may not be standard practice, but it was deemed necessary. The confiscated goods are stored in our secret vault. The only person with access to them is the High Inquisitor, Lady Darklaw. Lady Darklaw! Does anybody else get the impression that Lady Darklaw is like a witch? And not only a witch, but probably the big bad witch with like the big spiky horns and probably the mastermind behind all. Lady Darklaw is probably Bezella, the Great Witch. God damn it. And she's able to corrupt the entire town with her position as High Inquisitor. Makes sense to me. It has caused me great difficulty, as I have not been able to put Master's research materials in order as a result. The confiscated items shall be returned as soon as Sir Belduk's murder is solved. I shall be looking forward to that. Defense! You may begin the interrogation. Okie doke. Let's cross-examine this hunty. Girl, I'm gonna put you in the hot seat. I like your bangs. Alright, 1 o'clock at night, press that. So you last saw him alive at 1 a.m., that's correct? Yes. Master had a habit of conducting his experiments at night, so it was the usual time for me to finish my work. Weren't you helping him with those experiments? He would sometimes have some errands for me, but alchemists generally keep the experiments a secret. That's why I would always excuse myself at the time, unless Master had some other task for me. And that night there was no more work for you. That's correct. I wished Master a good night as I shut the door behind me and heard him lock the key. There was nothing unusual about him, at least nothing I noticed. I called him for breakfast, he didn't respond, and the door was locked. And what time was that? Master would always take his breakfast at 9 a.m., so it was around that time. So, you didn't have the key to Sir Belduk's study, is that correct? Yes. There's only one key to that room, and Master always kept it with him. Master's research was a very delicate matter, you see. We had to take strict measures to prevent outsiders from entering the room. Occasionally, delinquents would try to make off with one or another's of the Master's medicaments. Thieves stealing from an alchemist. I don't know if that's incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. Probably the latter if his butler was a witch. That's why the door to the room is made from thick oak wood. I wouldn't have been able to force the door on my own. She couldn't have entered the room before that. Neighbor came for a visit, then we forced the door open together.
Hold it!
Okay, please tell me it wasn't a mirror. Wait, you mean you broke the door? The only key to that room was in Sir Belduk's pocket. The only way to enter the study was to break the door open. And you managed that with the help of a neighbor who came to visit, huh? Yes, it wasn't a social visit, mind. He came as a patient. A patient? Can you tell me more about him?
Objection!
Hey! Trying to get some info here. The victim's neighbor is irrelevant. He has nothing to do with this case. You don't know that. I think you're pushing it this time. A witness is hardly irrelevant. What's got him so shaken? He looks as if he just had a rush of blood to the head. Master Belduk had been making very potent medicines, among other things. We would get people coming from the town at all hours, day or night, asking for them. Tomlia! Thank you so much for the $3!
Tomla donated $3. You made a solid prediction a while ago about this case that you've seen the conclusion about. Figuring out Jean is not exactly as cis as trying to present. So here's a first reward. It was a small but accurate prediction that led to others showcased true.
Alright. I appreciate it, thank you. Listen, I got the gift. I'm gonna see through everybody's bullshit in this town. Yeah, she was a girl, and, she killed Sir Belduk. Is my explanation because I have to save Maya. I guess it was probably not with the candlestick, though, right? Some things, you get some details, you miss some details. That's how it works. And yet, in return for all the help Master offered, people would gossip about him dabbling in witchcraft. So, you broke the door together with a neighbor. Yes. When I explained the situation to him, he brought over an axe. Then he proceeded to attack the door with great force, smashing it into splinters. I see. By the way, about that neighbor. Who was the... Oh, God. No. No. No.
It's time for him.
No! Oh, God.
Guys?
Fuck off! Why are you everywhere? You're a witch. Can we approve that Amir is actually a woman? A crotchety old bearded lady who needs to be thrown to the hellfires? This is insanity. All I'm saying is Amir seems to be everywhere that a witch attack occurs. Everywhere. Is that not sus?
Order! Order! Could it be that it was you who...
Oh my God.
Where are you looking, old
Why is the
man?
bard here?
Right here. And as for who I am, I'm the alchemist's neighbour and a witness in that case too.
He's fucking everybody. Passion for justice seething within. Amir is always at the crime scene.
Objection!
Yeah, please, Phoenix, raise some objections here. It's, Christ, it's you again. You're that guy from earlier, right? Yeah, that's me. Amir's the name. How have you been, Bluey? Are you really the alchemist's neighbor? Seriously? Ah, no, right? Freak of coincidence, eh? But yeah, his house is next to mine. Oh, God. Oh, God. He's a witch. He's Bazella. Ridiculed earlier, Amir returns, drinking like a king. He never ever learns. That's why I tried to stop you from asking about the neighbor. Oh. Oh. Oof. I can't help but feel like I've done a bad today, and I feel like I have to accept partial responsibility for the events that are about to transpire in this courtroom. For that, I truly am sorry, Zacharias. I made my bed, now I guess it's time to lie in it. Amir hired Birdley, they're gonna be together from now on, fuck. That's right, he did hire him. Oh, why so cold, Inquisitor Barnum? Unable to hold his steady, cold gaze, Amir drinks fast, as if in a daze. And the musician standing next to you? Oh, yeah. Yes, my private bard, Birdley. All right, music genius. Hold on, dearie me. Oh, dearie me. I can't believe this is happening again. Well, no use shutting the stable door after the horse is bolted. Let us move on. Witness, since you're already here, you may as well add to your testimony. Testify about what you witnessed on the morning after the crime. You can count on me! I'm sure I can. It dawned on me then! The witch cast familiar, just like in this case! Well, that's not correct. All the potions and other concoctions from the study had been confiscated, right. Let me go back. First of all, let's hold that, because that's not right. Can you tell me what caused that sudden realization? Sure thing! When the Inquisitors came around, I went to have a little peek at the crime scene. That's when I heard them talking about it. I was surprised, because they must have come to the same conclusion as me. Crikey! They can do their job, them Inquisitors, I thought. It had to be familiar. So he was eavesdropping. If I happen to see that familiar user, I'll arrest him myself. Great. Okay. Witness, you are testifying in court. Can you not restrain yourself a bit? What is that? Don't you see I got this to keep my spirits up? This is the most potent medicine. Yeah. Yeah, it is. 'Tis a drink a mere lives to savor, with an intoxicating scent and flavor. Anyway. This is a waste of time. I should be looking for decisive contradictions. Witnesses, continue your testimonies. Okie doke. Alright, well, let's press this. Those items were confiscated 3 months ago. You still haven't gotten them back? No, not a single thing. Even though many of those were personal items with no relevance to the crime. Now that I think about it, the room did look pretty empty. As I said, the victim was an alchemist, and among his possessions were some very dangerous concoctions. Right. Indeed, alchemy is highly beneficial to the townspeople, even if they fail to notice it. Hey, try being the makers of a vaccine. Sometimes people just can't be helped, no matter how much you're trying to. It may be beneficial, but it also inspires fear. People fear what they do not understand. Wow, this game's so relevant to, like, human society. It's amazing, actually. At any rate, I cannot return the items until Sir Belduk's case is solved. That is what High Inquisitor Darklaw has decided. And the confiscated goods are being kept in a secret vault by the Knights of the Inquisition. Even the Inquisitors cannot freely enter the vault. It is strictly supervised. So that's all they have to say, huh? God, I really didn't expect him to appear. But honestly, I should probably be used to it by now. Excuse me, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry to interrupt your train of thought. It's okay, what is it? I'm wondering if it's just me, but I've been thinking about Mr. Uemiya's testimony. I think what he said is a little strange, isn't it? Yeah, how can I put it? It's pretty obviously contradictory. Yeah, the whole thing about Familia. We already disproved Familia being the spell that was used, so can I present the book? Is it gonna work, or am I gonna get my ass handed to me by the judge? He was so keen to testify, maybe we should give him some attention and point out those contradictions. What's a good idea, Luke? Okey-doke. Oh, okay. Go for a mirror. He says it was Familia, just like the study that was used in this case. But, what's the thing? The Familia gem is a fake. We could probably throw that, maybe? Let's try it.
Objection!
Yeah, that'll work. That'll get the job done. My dear friend Amir, there's something you don't seem to understand here. The Familia gem in the Witch's Scepter is a fake. The gem is useless. Just like this buffoon's testimony. Ah! So therefore, your testimony doesn't really hold any water here. Just like anything else he says. What? Ignored and scorned without credibility, will majestic Amir now show humility? Ah, this is an outrage! A fake! You should have listened to the trial more carefully. Hard to do when you are drunk off your ass. Now that has been dealt with, Inquisitor Barnum. This witch's scepter was not discovered at the crime scene when Sir Belduk was murdered, is that correct? Indeed, my lord. We deduce that Familia must have been used, however...
Objection!
But that Familia magic gem was a fake. That much has been demonstrated today. What's more, we've learned from the Cracker, the parrot's testimony, the witch used the spell Gador. The fact that there's a green wall at the crime scene corroborates that. That well may not have been painted green 3 months ago. Oh, but it was, and I have the sketch to show you. And besides, no one could have passed through a portal so small. You know, to be honest, I started wondering. Were Sir Layton and Sir Belduk's murders actually committed by the same witch?
Objection!
Yes, and here's why. Your Honor, I'd like to remind you that it was the Inquisition's claim. Oh, throwing him under the bus. He's right, though. It's gotta be the same culprit in both cases. And at the very least, it's possible the witch used the spell Gador to commit Sir Belduk's murder, too. What? In that case, I will ask the defense to show us proof. Do you have proof that the witch could have used Gador to hurt Sir Belduk? Yes, it's these sketches. I'd like you to take a look at these. Aren't those the court illustrator sketches? As you can see from this sketch, the victim was seated at his desk when he was murdered. And what can you see right behind the victim? A small landscape painting. Right, but behind it is the portal. So here's my hypothesis. I had this hypothesis and I didn't want to say anything, but I think it's about to come into play. You have the portal that's not big enough for an entire person to get there, right? But Sir Belduk's sitting pretty close. So what if, like my green screen, just had a couple of hands that come out through the portal, wring the guy's neck, and like choke him out a little bit, you know? It's weird, but it's doable. Strangle him from behind? Because he also had, the thing is, there are finger marks on his, like he was choked. Thank you, Inquisitor, but there's one more point of note. Look closely at the painting. Do you notice anything behind it? Oh, I see. The wall behind it had already been painted green. Which means the witch could have used the portal spell there 3 months ago.
Objection!
Yes. One moment, my lord. Consider how small that portal would have been. Could a witch have passed through it? I think not.
Objection!
Well, of course the witch wouldn't be able to go right through it. However, here we go. If you look at the distance between the portal and the victim, you'll notice that the victim, Sir Belduk, was sitting just an arm's length from where the portal would have been. That's the tea! Gotta love being choked by disembodied hands. Welcome to the chat, that's the tea. Thanks for being here. The witch did not have to enter the room at all. All she had to do was reach through with her arms in order to strangle Sir Belduk, who was sitting right under the painting. Yeah, buddy. Girl, you're so pretty, but I didn't know you had it in you to strangle a man to death. Order! Inquisitor Barnum, what say you to that? A fascinating theory, Sir Blue Knight. Thank you. But there is a notable contradiction within it. And where would that be? Tell me, why do you think we concluded that Familia had to have been used? We had a certain reason for it, of course. And what was that reason exactly? The crime scene had been tampered with. How so? Imagine the circumstances of Sir Belduk's death, and it should become obvious, even to you. The victim was choked to death. And yet, there were no signs of a struggle. Highly improbable, don't you think? Well, if it was a sneak attack from behind... Where are you getting at? think about it. Can you imagine anyone just sitting back and letting themselves be strangled? Clearly, there should have been more evidence of a struggle. Oh. And since we haven't found any, that means the killer must have erased all traces of a fight from the crime scene. Indeed, that would be the logical conclusion. Now, surely it would be impossible to do any such thing had the witch only reached inside through a portal. In order to cover up the evidence she left behind, the witch had to have used a familiar. Without doing so, there would have been no point in her using the spell Gador.
Objection!
Miss Grey Earl could have done it. She might have been able to tamper with the crime scene. What are you talking about? The morning of the crime, from the time Miss Grey Earl and that guy entered the study, until the arrival of the Knights of the Inquisition, there was a window of time in which she had the opportunity to do so. We need to look into what happened in the window. In that window of time. It seems we may be in need of another testimony. Witnesses, please testify about what happened in the time between the body being found and the Knights of the Inquisition arriving. Sure thing. Ask me anything. I'll tell you what you need to know. Oh, glorious Amir, tell us more. Maybe you won't be laughed at as before. Only 2 people accessed the crime scene in that time. Grey Earl and Amir. Believe it or not, Amir is the key witness in the case. Love that for us. My king. Maybe he'll just fall over and we'll be safe. I broke down the door, saw the alchemist slumped in his chair, gave me a jolt. The butler hurried and called the Knights of the Inquisition. He never entered the study. What'd I do then? Yeah, I was asked to keep an eye on things. So I went and had a bit of a look at everything. That made me pretty drowsy, so I went and took a little nap on the couch. So you admit you were unconscious. Wait, what? Mr. Amir! You said the butler didn't enter the crime scene? Yeah, never set foot in there. The moment he saw the Belduk, it told me to stand guard till the Knights of the Inquisition arrived. And off he went. A resourceful apprentice that alchemist has, I thought to myself. I almost feel sorry for you, Sir Blue Knight. After all, your suspect couldn't have tampered with the crime scene. I don't know, I don't really trust Amir's testimony ever, so... Defense, please proceed with the interrogation. Alright, Your Honor. Okay. Broke down the door, gave me a jolt. Before you smashed the door, did you check that it was really locked? Course I did! I tried to get it open without resorting to brute force, but it wouldn't budge. So, I went to fetch me a lovely little axe. His wooden enemy stood tall and still, yet Amir sprang forth. It was overkill. Did you think I lied about the door being locked? Well, no, of course not. God, she's so sharp she might cut herself. Or me. Most likely me. So then I went inside. The alchemist was slumped in his chair. While we're at it, allow me to confirm something. When you entered the room, did the victim look the way he does at this sketch? Yeah, master. Spot on. Nicely drawn, too. You know, at first, I didn't know if he was really dead. Looked like he was just passed out or something. Tired from his research. Interesting. Gene, what you got to say to that? Oh, no. Oops. Shoot. Questioner. Miss Grey Earl, may I ask you something? Yes, what is it? What do you think about Mr. Amir's testimony? There's nothing amiss. However, Mr. Wright, I can tell what you're thinking. I beg your pardon? When he entered the room, Mr. Amir didn't notice that Mr. Belduk was dead. On the other hand, I ran straight away to call the Knights of the Inquisition, and so... You suspect that I knew beforehand that the Master was dead. She's good. I'll give her that. She's a smart girl. Smart enough to be a witch and commit a murder. That's what you're thinking. Your face is like an open book. But isn't that what actually happened? No. I knew something was wrong because Master had very fine manners and would never sleep in his chair. When I saw him like that, I was struck with a very bad realization. I felt certain that something terrible had happened. I've heard about you. The word is that you're very collected and perceptive. It would seem to be the case. It would be more appropriate to call her calculating. Somehow, I feel you're not paying me enough attention here. God, Amir. That matters not, witness. Let us proceed with the cross-examination. Matters not, eh? No need to be so rude about it. Alright, so the butler heard him called the Knights of the Inquisition. I need a little water break. Ah. Are you sure the butler didn't enter the crime scene? Yeah, like I said, I didn't set foot in the room. I went in and sorta didn't know what to do. But the butler sussed out the situation in the blink of an eye. Told me to stand guard, and then he ran out. She went to call the Knights of the Inquisition, is that correct?
That's correct. I went to a nearby garrison.
We have the records of when the crime was reported. They match the witness's testimony.
I returned to Mr. Belduk's house with 2 knights. They began an investigation immediately, taking away Master's research materials and concoctions. In the end, I wasn't able to enter that room that day.
There can be no doubt about it. As she is the alchemist's apprentice, she was under close observation following the incident.
I wasn't aware of that.
So in the end, she didn't have any access to the crime scene at all. By the way, what were you doing at that time? Me? Just having a good old sleep. Had a look at everything. And what were you having a look at exactly? Ah, well, I was asked to take care of the crime scene, wasn't I? So I had to make sure everything was in order. I mean, you know. It's not like I went wild with excitement after being left in a real alchemist's room full of mysterious stuff. I'm sure you didn't. Man who stole Professor Layton's arm. And besides, she asked me to look for something. Oh! Yeah, Jean, what were you asking him to look for?
Hang on!
Hang on, please. Miss Grail, you look a little lost in thought over there.
Were you talking to me?
Oh, wow. We saw her slip for a second. Funny, even she can be caught off guard. Just chose the right moment. You've been listening to Mr. Amir's testimony, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
He was asked to look for something. And it was you who asked him, I assume? What did you tell him to look for?
I think you're mistaken. I don't remember making any request of that sort.
Huh? Oi, Bluey! Were you even listening to what I said? It was a lady that asked me. The butler's a guy, you numbskull. Give a moment for it to sink in for him. What's up? Why is everyone looking at me like that? It was quite a while ago, actually. We learned that, the butler, Jean Greyerl, is actually a girl. Oi! That's why when you said a lady asked you to search for something, we assumed it was Miss Greyerl. Oh, daydreaming, listening, but not hearing. That look of shock is almost endearing. What the? Why didn't anyone tell me? Do you require a personal notification? You should have been listening to the trial. Knights of the court, squabbling with a witness is most unseemly. What I would like to know is this. Who was the lady that made the request of Amir? Oh yeah! There's actually, Miss, Oh God. Oh God! The mail lady!
Absolutely certainly talking about me.
Oh, and you are?
I'm a little over all of these surprise witnesses showing up in my courtroom. Don't we document these people? Don't we get them pre-approved? You just let anybody waltz in here and start talking?
I'm Letty. Hang on a minute. I'll get down there post-haste.
Letty Mailer. Oh my God. We're really building an entire new cast here.
But, Miss Letty, who are you precisely?
Me? Who am I? I'm Letty Mailer. I'm the courier.
The courier?
A courier is a person who collects and delivers letters or
Girl, I know! I'm familiar. Thanks anyway, Espella. I wish you'd stop misreading my mind. Oh my God, she's got Maya's talent to read my mind, except she reads it a little bit worse. Hold on, Miss Mailer. Do you mean it was you who irresponsibly made such a request to that troublemaker?
Me? Maybe, yes, I guess so. I asked him to help me find something.
Outrageous! Why was I not informed of this?
I guess no one told you. Maybe because you didn't ask.
Ugh. It seems we will need to ask you to testify, Miss Mailer. Explain to us how you were involved in this case.
Frankly, I wouldn't say I was involved in anything. Now I'm in a tight spot. I bet it's because that guy said something weird about me.
Ha ha! Ease up on me, lady. Like the saying goes, if I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. Beats being a pickle on your own there. Now then, Miss Letty Mailer, testify about that day. Oh God. Oh, that voice could make windows shatter. Yeah, I did not know that was gonna be her voice.
Sir Belduk said he'd never had a letter sent, so I came by to pick it up.
Or he said he had a letter to send. Oh, I should have pressed that. So, now we know that there was a third witness.
But Miss Mailer only came to pick up a letter. It doesn't help us much, does it? Well, perhaps there's more to it than meets the eye.
A letter, huh? Belduk was about to send a letter to someone before he was killed. It may not be relevant to this case, but something about that is bothering me. Maybe it's worth asking Letty about. Right, that's what I meant to do. I didn't mean to skip by her. Alright, let's go back to her. Press her statement. You mean you came to pick up a letter from Sir Belduk?
Yes, I was told by Sir Belduk that it'd be ready in the morning. What's more, he said it was extremely important. I felt a sense of duty surging within me.
Oh God, who's getting all sus now? Miss Grill, I have a question. Again.
Yes, what is it?
Did anything catch your attention during Miss Mailer's statement?
Nothing in particular. And at any rate, to begin with, I was not aware of the fact that the courier visited us that day. Oh, that's right! You weren't there when I arrived! And once I found the letter, I left immediately!
Did you know about this letter, witness?
I would never pry into Master's personal matters, such as his correspondence.
Well, that should conclude the testimony. I don't know about that. So, now we know there was a third witness.
But Miss Mailer...
Right. Not more to it than meets the eye. A letter, huh? I mean, we have the letter and it's blank. I don't really know that it's a contradiction, though. But I mean, she's really all we have to work with, so I guess show her the letter and see what happens. Blank letter from Belduk the storyteller contains only blank sheets of parchment.
Objection!
Let's see what she has to say about it. The letter you found that morning. Was it by any chance this one here?
Ah! Yes! That's the one! But wait! How did you get it? You're a piece of work, all right?
Objection!
Hold it! Sublune Knight! How did you come by that letter? Well, it just sort of fell in my lap, so to speak. It was the professor who found it, but he doesn't need to know that. And we're not giving Luke any credit here. Defender! Just what in the world are the contents of that letter? Well, the letter's blank. What? All this fuss over a blank letter? As you can see, there are some sheets of parchment inside the envelope. Indeed, and there's not a trace of ink on them. What is the meaning of this? Don't forget that Sir Belduk was an alchemist. He may have used some kind of invisible ink to write that letter. That's what I was thinking. Indeed, that would make sense.
About that, it doesn't make sense to me.
What? Miss Miller?
The thing is, when I saw the letter, all the pages were full of writing, you know?
You read people's mail? Hold it, witness! You saw the contents of Sir Belduk's letter? Ma'am, you're going to jail.
Well, I didn't read it, it's just, you see.
Witness! This is an important matter. You will need to testify about it. Tell us what you know about this letter. Another witness testimony.
That night, probably about 1 a.m., I made a delivery to Sir Belduk. He was writing the letter at the time. It'll be ready soon, so come pick it up tomorrow morning. That's what he said. I left to study and wished the butler good night, and then I went home. I went there again the next morning. As promised, Sir Belduk was, well, anyway, I looked for the letter, and then that guy went out like a light on the couch. I got a little scared, so I left there as soon as I had the letter.
She's a character and a half. I see. So you witnessed the victim writes the letter.
I wouldn't say witnessed. That sounds so legal. The sheets of parchments were on his desk, though, so I saw that. And so they were covered in writing, margin to margin.
But you don't know what the letter was about. Oi.
Telling you would be a breach of our privacy policy. I can't reveal its contents, or who it was addressed to.
Well, we know who it was addressed to. Oh, of course, I understand.
Frankly, I didn't get close enough to Sir Belduk's desk, so I couldn't make out what he was writing.
In any case, where did you find the letter the morning after the victim was found dead?
On a shelf, next to his desk, in a small leather box. Ah, yes, right there, next to his head. Yeah, I was a teeny little bit scared, though, coming so close to a dead man.
Between heaven and hell, hello! Work sucked. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Just popped in to say hello. Gonna have to watch this afterwards on the video on demand. Alright, thank you, Between Heaven and Hell. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope to see you next time I'm streaming. So, that's where she took the letter from. It was right next to the corpse, huh? Now that the circumstances are clear, we shall proceed to the cross-examination. Okey-doke.
That night, probably about 1 a.m., I made a delivery to Sir Belduk.
That's very late to be doing a delivery. It's pretty late to be making a delivery. Me and Phoenix were on the same page all the time.
Look, he's an alchemist, and he gets loads of strange packages, that's why. He'd often order various implements from the glass craftsman, or someone to gather wild herbs for him. He usually carried out his experiments at night, so yeah, you have to needed items delivered in the middle of the night.
Did Sir Belduk seem at all different than normal when you saw him that night?
Different? Let me think. Actually, yes. I think it was about 3 days before Sir Belduk's death, that lightning strike.
Oh, where the building came from. Girl, you always seem to have something you want to say, but then you never talk. So what's going on, sweetie? Miss Grail.
Oh, what is it?
Did anything in Miss Mailer's statement catch your attention?
Well, just the lightning strike. Master Belduk did certainly change following that event. I wonder why it affected him so much.
An alchemist and the sudden appearance of an old bell tower. Could there be some sort of connection between them? Anyway, it looks like Grey Earl is as much in the dark about this as I am. By the way, that strange lightning strike was not the result of witchcraft. I see. Let us carry on. Or it was the result of witchcraft.
He was writing a letter at the time. It'll be ready soon, so come pick it up tomorrow.
Right. You saw the letter he was writing? Told you before, there were sheets of parchment. Right. Very quick look. Letter must have been very long. Then how can you explain the letter being blank now?
That's just it! That's what I'd like to know.
I wish I had some ear plugs.
Sir Belduk, he was holding a pen when I arrived with the delivery, so he was in the middle of writing. And also, he told me to pick up the letter the next morning.
And then you left his study. Alright. Wish the butler a good night, and I went home. Wait a damn minute. When you say the butler, you mean...
Miss Grayle, of course. She was in the corridor, carrying a tray.
Right? She claimed that, she had no idea that, that the mail lady was gonna be making a stop by. Miss Grayle, I'd really like to ask you something quickly, if you don't mind.
Certainly, what is it?
You stated previously that you excused yourself and left Sir Belduk's study shortly after 1 a.m.
Yes, that is correct.
However, according to Miss Mailer's testimony, the two of you came across each other while you were waiting outside that room. Why didn't you mention that until now?
That's because...
She's playing with her hair, she's mad nervous. Also, I got a pimple on the side of my head and it's bothering me. I think I burst it open. Oops.
I apologize. I'm afraid I completely forgot to mention it.
You forgot?
Miss Mailer very often comes with deliveries during the night. I did see her that night as well, but I really didn't think much of it, as it's nothing unusual. I had no reason to hide that from you. Please, forgive me for the confusion.
Well, that kind of thing can happen. Human memory is in no way perfect. I don't imagine there's a problem here, is there? On the contrary, Your Honor. There's one more thing Miss Grayle forgot to mention. What is it? I'd like you to recall what Miss Mailer said about having met Miss Grayle that night.
Miss Grayle, she was in the corridor carrying a tray.
Well, Miss Grayle, apparently you were carrying a tray at the time. What do you have to say about that? I don't really know where this one's going. Jean Grayle, I believe you should add that to your testimony.
As you wish, my lord.
It's unlikely she really forgot about it. The fact that she tried to hide it means that there's gotta be something sus there.
Miss Mailer left just as I was bringing Master his usual drink.
Hold it!
She poisoned him! That's what the tray's about. What do you mean by his usual drink?
When Master's experiments continued into late hours, he would always have some juice to ward off sleepiness.
What kind of juice?
Tomato juice.
Oh, someone had a reaction to that. My boy, you know a lot about your drinks. Pardon me, mister. Mister!
I know nothing about it, nothing at all.
This is a nightmare. Oh god. Witness! What have you done this time?
Oh, give me that scary look, Inquisitor Barnum! It was only a little bit, seriously! Hardly anything at all.
What are you talking about?
What do you think I'm talking about? The tomato juice, of course.
The tomato juice. You didn't. Surely even you wouldn't.
Well, like I told you before, I think I sort of overdid it a bit the previous night. When I woke up, my head was pounding. That's why I went to see the alchemist. But you know what happened? And when I was left alone in the alchemist's study, it kind of caught my eye. The bottle, I mean.
The tomato juice.
Thought it might make my headache go away and all.
So you drank it, the juice found at the crime scene.
Oh, why shouldn't I? It's a drink, ain't it? What else you gonna do with a drink? You drink it!
He's not wrong. It's not like, Sir Belduk was gonna drink it. Also, I love that it's tomato juice, just like, the drink that Adrian Andrews decided to pour for Juan Corrida. Come to think of it, I don't remember seeing it at the crime scene.
It has been confiscated.
Confiscated?
As I mentioned previously, the occult crime analysts confiscated all of Master's personal belongings from the crime scene.
Is that so? Well, I believe we should take note of that bottle and add it to the court record. Brought to Belduk before his death, Amir drank some of the juice the following day. And I mean, he's alive, but, like, not very well. So there I was, having a bit of juice when the girl came around, but he did fall asleep. So maybe the juice was intoxicated enough to pass out. So maybe Sir Belduk passed out, and that's when he was, you know, choked to death. He was roofied. To tell you the truth, I don't quite remember what happened after that. Oh my god, he was roofied. So that's when he passed out, huh? It's all coming together. Went there again the next morning as promised. Sir Belduk was. Anyway, I looked for the letter. Okay.
Hold it!
Actually, I think the thing we're going to want to press next, I think we're going to want to touch on him passing out on the couch. Because I think that's where this is going. Letter from the crime scene? That's right! I took it from the crime scene! Yeah, that's fine. Object. Do what you want to do. Do you not realize that pinching evidence from a crime scene is a crime itself worthy of severe punishment? Yeah, but not being burned like a witch. Well, it might be a crime, sure, but look at the witch's defender. He's got to defend a witch, using as dirty tricks as he can. Yes. It's the same for me. I'm a courier, so come rain or shine, I've got to deliver. Where there's mail, there's a mailer. I was so inspired by the young lady's spirit, I just kind of had to help. Alright, I've had enough of you, Birdley.
It is entirely my fault that it came to that. Had I only been at the residence then.
Ugh. So Grayrol was out notifying the knights at the time. This is the statement I think I want. The guy went out like a light on the couch. I got a little scared, so I left as soon as I found the letter. This is it. He went out like a light, you say? Yeah, he was helping me look for the letter, and then it happened out of the blue. He just passed out, the rascal. He collapsed, and his eyes rolled back. He wouldn't move. It almost sounds like he died. No such luck, unfortunately. That horrible sound! He was grating his teeth. I thought my ears would explode. Yeah, not sure what came over me. Never happened to me before, sleeping like that. You know, I didn't just fall asleep. More like I sort of blacked out, I guess. No idea why. Oi! You guys, what do you think? Any ideas? I think it bears no relevance in that you have my honest answer.
And I think it's good that I wasn't there.
But the question is, why did he black out like that? I've got evidence. It's that damn tomato juice. I've got a clue. A clue indeed. I don't know why my face is so itchy right now. Feels like I got a bug bite on my cheek. Bug bite? Maybe it's another pimple coming in. You pop one, another one's bound to show up. Am I right? Am I right? Alright, yeah, I'm gonna work it out for you, buddy. You hang tight. Which piece of evidence shows how the man fell unconscious?
Take that!
Tomato juice. Tomato juice. Tomato, tomato. Mister, I love that Phoenix refuses to call him by his name. I believe the reason you might have lost consciousness at the crime scene is tied to a certain piece of evidence. Well, isn't it just because, you know, I had a bit too much fun the night before? No, it was because of this. The tomato juice. You passed out right after drinking this juice. Therefore, it's not unreasonable to assume that there's a direct connection between the two. Tomato juice does not make people fall unconscious, said Blue Knight. Yeah, but if it was spiked with a GHB, we got a whole different story on our hands. Exactly! That's why something must have been added to the contents of the bottle. Something like a soporific. A soporific. A soporific. Soporific. GHB. You mean sleep medicine? Yes. And if a sleeping medicine was mixed with the tomato juice, that means Sir Belduk would have been unconscious at the time he was assailed. Oh! The sketch. Have another look. The red liquid trickling down from the victim's mouth. It's proof that Sir Belduk must have drank some of the tomato juice. I had failed to consider this. Inquisitor Barnum, I bet you remember saying this to the court. Can you imagine anyone just sitting back and letting themselves be strangled? Clearly there should be evidence of a struggle. And since we haven't found any, that must mean the killer erased all traces of a fight from the crime scene. However, if the victim was unconscious when his assailant was strangling him, then the killer could have committed the crime through a small portal big enough to put their arms through after all. Yeah. That's maybe so, but tell me this, Sir Blue Knight. How could the culprits have managed to obtain such a strong soporific? Well, it was pretty simple, actually. I think you've probably realized how. From the alchemist. That's right, an alchemist would no doubt have a wide array of various medicaments in their possession. And as an apprentice, he would be able to have little trouble stealing some of them from their study. I mean. Isn't that right, Miss Greyroll? You look guilty as sin. Belduk hitting that melatonin a little too hard.
How should I respond to that? I'm sorry to disappoint you. May perhaps be the best way to put it.
What do you mean?
Even though that juice bottle has been safely stored for the past 3 months, I'm positive it would be impossible to find any traces of the soporific now.
You wicked. Oh, wow, that was a ballsy statement. This is unbelievable.
Was it really the butler who did it? But everything she says holds true. She was pretending to be a boy.
That's mighty suspicious to me. Is she a witch?
Oh, God. Hold on, everyone! The butler couldn't have done it to Sir Belduk. She would never ever do it. Please, let us testify one more time. Miss Grayle, let's tell them. Let's prove them they're wrong.
Why? What kind of a lesbian relationship do you have with Miss Grey Earl? Why are you, like, going to bat for her?
Miss Mela.
Very well. I shall grant your request. Testify about the relationship between Miss Grey Earl and Sir Belduk. Okay. Oh God, another testimony. They just keep coming. And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
Master took me in, a complete stranger. I will forever be indebted to him. That's why I could never make an attempt on his life, through magic or otherwise. Sir Belduk was a wonderful man. He was the one who recommended this line of work to me. And he's the one who told me about it. The confidentiality obligation, I mean. I've never once broken it.
It's true that Sir Belduk evoked fear due to his being an alchemist. However, he was also a man of admirable character who supported the townsfolk through his research. Why would anyone want to kill such a man? It is beyond me to understand why or how. Yeah, same. Whoops. Sorry, dropping my telephone. The questions keep haunting me. However much I think about it. Witches need no reason behind their evil. That is what makes them witches. I mean, facts, I guess? Sort of, kind of. Don't entirely disagree. Now, the defense may begin its interrogation. The alchemist and his butler. Alright, press everything. That's our only strat at this point. How long has it been since you began serving Sir Belduk?
I suppose it would be 5 years now. Before that, I'd lost everything. I had nothing and nobody left in this world.
Why? What happened? You lost everything?
That's when Master Belduk helped me. He kindly took me in and gave me work.
What did she go through before she started working for Belduk?
Later, when I was helping the Master with his research, he even taught me how to read and write. I was able to live comfortably for so long, all because of the Master.
don't know how much about Grey Earl. Or I don't know much about Grey Earl. It's true that we don't. But she doesn't seem like the type to kill someone she owes so much to. Everyone in this town knows you served Sir Belduk. Now you may continue with your testimony.
That's why I could never make an attempt on his life through magic or otherwise.
You're claiming you had no reason to kill Sir Belduk.
Yes, you can ask whomever you'd wish, and I'm sure they will say the same.
That is so. It is widely known that Jean Grey Earl was devoted to serving Sir Belduk. It's difficult to imagine that she could brutally murder her respected master. Indeed, I'm aware of the same opinion. I have visited Sir Belduk on several occasions to inquire about this piece of evidence or that. But I must say, I felt there was a strong bond of trust between him and Miss Grey Earl. Do you still think you can come up with a motive? A motive? Jean Grey Earl's motive for murder. Grey Earl risked a lot to conjure up a small portal in the wall. And then, she killed Belduk. But what motive did she have? Suggest a motive for murder, suggest another motive. Something else? I understand. The defense will present evidence. Uh-oh. I don't think I'm ready for this. Evidence to indicate Jean Grey Earl's motive for murder. No. Wait, what? What's this about, Sir Blue Knight? Sir Belduk's life was taken that day. That's a fact. However, was this actually the culprit's true objective?
Objection!
This is nonsense. Sir Belduk was murdered. What other possible reason could there be besides someone wanting him dead? It's a good question. I'm fairly positive this piece of evidence will lead us to the culprit's real motive. If you say so, Phoenix. Very well, defense. Present evidence to indicate Jean Grey Earl's motive for committing the crime. Well, you see, the evidence is so obviously... The only thing I could really think of would be the blank letter at this point, unless it's evidence we don't have yet. Looking at the details of the sketches... I'm not really seeing much here. Maybe it was the letter?
Take that!
It's really all I got to work with at this point. Miss Grey Earl had no reason for wanting to kill Sir Belduk. However, there was another incident that night which is related to this case. And I have an idea what it was. Another incident? I'm referring to this letter. Sir Belduk wrote a letter shortly before his death, yet all we have here are some blank sheets of parchment.
Fascinating. Are you saying maybe a witch used some kind of ink-removing magic on that letter, Mr. Wright?
No. The spell used by the witch was, of course, Gador. Let's go over the state of the crime scene one more time. As we know from Miss Mailer's testimony, the letter was in a letterbox next to the victim's head. Ah yes, it's in the sketch. As well, the letterbox is on the far side of the shelf. The point of the note is the location of the letterbox. Unbelievable. As Inquisitor Barnum seems to have noticed, the letterbox is within reach of the small portal conjured by the witch behind the painting on the wall. Right, so she just wanted the letter, but then how did that result in a man dying? Oh, indeed it is. And, as Sir Belduk's butler, you would have known exactly where he kept his letters.
Indeed, Master Belduk would always keep his letters in that letterbox before posting them.
You mentioned no such thing. Miss Greyro, you created a portal with Ghidorah, not with the intention of killing Sir Belduk. You were after his letter, weren't you?
That's merely wild conjecture. I didn't even know about the letter at the time.
You didn't? Now you see, that's pretty strange. Because Miss Mailer came by that night and she said that Sir Belduk was busy writing that letter and it was already pretty well written by the time that she arrived. And you entered carrying a bottle of tomato juice. Oh! We got her. She slipped up. There's no way you wouldn't have known that what your master was writing. She messed up so bad that now I have to mess up to make her feel better. Frank, hello, welcome to the chat. There's no way you wouldn't have known that your master was writing a letter to someone, and you could have known even more than that. For instance, perhaps you knew what he was writing about.
That's enough. I served Master Belduk as his butler. I would never have pried into his private affairs. Whatever it was he wrote about in his final letter to the storyteller, it is of no concern to mine.
Oh, that is information that hadn't been revealed to the court yet. Your Honor. Yes, defense. I'd like Miss Greyerl's last statement to be added to the testimony, please. Any objections, Inquisitor Bonham? No, my lord. Very well. Witness, include what you just told us about in your testimony.
As you wish, my lord.
Okie doke. Taking the letter to the storyteller. But, no, that information hadn't been revealed. I don't know if we can present the letter again, or if that will fuck us up. I'm pretty sure that nobody else knows that it was to the storyteller, right? I might fuck this up.
Objection!
I fucked this up. Let me press her for more information. Getting too excited. Alright, fine. Okay, listen, no need to stab me. God damn, I'll press her.
Hold it!
We'll just press. We'll tread lightly. Let me get this straight. You didn't know anything about the victim's letter?
That's right. I believe I said as much already.
Then how did you know? How did you know it was addressed to... all I had to do was press. Fuck. Indeed, how did you know? Why don't you answer this question, witness? It's true that the letter is addressed to the storyteller. But when did you find out about it?
I have spoken about the murder with many people over the past 3 months.
Oh, so someone's got something to say.
Hang
What's
on.
up, lady? Excuse me, Miss Mailer. Oi! Every time. Thought I caught her off guard, but it's Screech that caught me off guard. Is there perhaps anything you'd like to add to Miss Grayl's testimony?
Not really.
In that case, could I ask you a different question? Did you tell Miss Grayl about Sir Belduk's letter? I don't know. Oh my god. Throw all of these people in jail. Do not beat about the bush, witness. Answer the question.
If I may briefly interrupt. I am testifying right now. If you wish to question Miss Mailer, please do so once you have finished interrogating me.
She's not gonna let me question Mailer from the looks of it. And if she's so keen to prevent her from answering, this might just be a critical point in the testimony. I've got to find another way of fishing for that information. Witness, continue testifying. Sir Belduk was a wonderful man. He was going to recommend this line of work to me. Okay. So... that puts me in a little bit of a pickle, doesn't it?
Hold it!
You mean you became a courier because of the... alchemist? That's right! I'm also sort of, what do you call it? An orphan! I've been stealing bread or apples and such from stalls and shops to survive. I was known far and wide among the traders of the shopping area. I was famous, or rather, infamous. Was she stealing from Mrs. Eclair, too?
And one day, Miss Grayle took me there, to Sir Belduk's residence, I mean. Sir Belduk helped me. He helped me to find a suitable job.
So you became a courier.
Yes, see, I only had one real skill. I'm light-footed. At first I thought I didn't take it seriously. The job, I mean. I don't care about work. But then I realized it's not so bad to be useful, you know, to other people.
That's promising. Alright, so she owes him a lot, too. She was an orphan. That's nice. The more you hear about Sir Belduk, the more obvious it will become that no one had any reason to want to kill him. Yeah, it sure does seem that way. So what's the catch? Someone told me about it, the confidentiality obligation. Yeah, what's this confidentiality obligation? It's a rule held among couriers, isn't that right?
Yes, a courier must not disclose the contents of a letter, nor the names or the addresses of its senders or recipients. But I'll tell you confidentially that, I love gossiping, bad-mouthing people especially, so I wasn't confident I could keep it. The confidentiality obligation, I mean. I was tempted to talk about it, this time and that time. But then Sir Belduk spoke to me. He told me this. Think about how you'd feel if you were in that person's place. And that got me thinking. I really, really like to gossip, but when it comes to being gossiped about, I don't really like that so much. People's messages and their secrets must be kept secret.
Great, I'm glad you learned your lesson as an adult woman. Indeed, no one would want their letters to be known publicly. Well, she's certainly determined when it comes to confidentiality. That's why she doesn't want to disclose the addressee of Belduk's letter. I'm not gonna get it out of her.
I promise, Sir Belduk, and I'm gonna keep it no matter what. That's a promise I mean to keep.
Okay. So now that we've gotten her to say that, can we jump back to the first statement? Grayle might not have had a motive to murder Belduk, but what if she used the portal spell to obtain the letter? Right. Okay, yep. We've been through all of this. I think this might have just been a case of out-of-order events. Master took me in, a complete stranger. I will forever be indebted to him.
Hold it!
Let me press this again, too. This isn't the statement I want to focus on, but... How long has it been since you've been serving Sir Belduk? 5 years. Oh, right. She told us all this. Sorry! Something happened to this girl 5 years prior. And now, I think we want to try and press this again. This might be one of those weird Ace Attorney things where you have to press things in the right order. Since the mail lady gave us new information, we might be able to get somewhere here. How did you know it was just the storyteller? Answer his question. It's true, it's addressed to the storyteller. When did you find out about it? Spoken about the murder with many people over the past 3 months. Let's ignore her for a second.
Everyone has been very kind to me. They've also told me all sorts of things. I must have heard about it from someone at some point.
Well, that incident was certainly much talked about. Would you not agree, defense? Does her testimony hold together? There's a contradiction. There is a huge contradiction in Miss Grayle's testimony. You are becoming very predictable, Sir Blue Knight. If there is a contradiction, I hope you have the evidence to prove it. Alright, here's my chance. There's only one way to expose this contradiction. I don't think I can present evidence, because the contradiction is with another person's testimony. I hope this is right. I might be falling into a trap here. The defense has no intention of presenting evidence. What? The proof that there is a contradiction cannot be found in the court record. God bless, Phoenix looks confident. That makes me feel good. That shot of Barnum with the sword was terrifying. Yeah, he was ready to slice and dice me.
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright?
The professor pointed it out to me in the previous witch trial. In this court, an attorney's arsenal isn't limited to the court record. Each of the witnesses in this trial has given their own account of what occurred. Therefore, when one witness has testified, the other remaining witnesses have listened. Should one witness's testimony differ from the other's testimony, I suppose that in itself can also be considered a contradiction, can it not? Juxtaposing contradictory testimonies from different witnesses is the key. Miss Grayerl, your testimony contradicts another one that we've heard in this court today. Indeed it does!
I had no reason to take his life nor steal his letter to the storyteller.
Objection!
The testimony contradicting Miss Grayerl's is right here. Oh, I'm playing the game! What am I doing? Shit! Oh, fuck, I wasn't paying attention. God, I looked at my phone for 1 second and everything fell to shit. No, I understand what we're doing. I did it wrong. Sorry. I did not need to lose that credibility point. Fuck, this is embarrassing. I thought we were still in the flashback. Alright, her testimony does not contradict with her own testimony. It contradicts with, he's the one who told me about the confidentiality obligation. This
Objection!
one. Oh my god! They deadass are moving his statue. What the fuck is this court trial? Espelle is on her goddamn knees. Little baby Luke, he's probably still standing in front of the professor's crotch, and they're literally like, we gotta do this with some showmanship, boys. If we're gonna point the professor's finger too, god damn it.
What do you mean by that?
The name of the recipient. There were only a few people who knew the intended recipients of the letter. 4 people, to be precise. Only 4 people. Well, first would have been Sir Belduk, the author of the letter. Then there was Miss Mailer, who delivered it. And of course, the storyteller, its recipient, as well as one more person. The one who stole the letter using a portal spell and swapped it with the blank sheets of parchment. The witch. She swapped it.
Maybe I did. Maybe I spilled the beans about the letter, I mean. Maybe I told the butler.
You did what?
Well, because you see, me and the butler are sort of friends. And it was about our dear Sir Belduk. I feel like I might have told her about it after all. See, if I did, that's how she knew. About the recipient, I mean.
I understand that you're friends with Miss Grayerl, and you're trying really hard to help her out. But I've got a piece of advice, Miss Mailer. You shouldn't lie, even for a friend.
Huh?
Remember your testimony. You told us about the courier's duty to keep the details of letters confidential. And you've also testified that you have never broken that obligation, remember?
Sir!
Objection!
But, hold on just a minute. As the victim's butler, Jean Grayerl might have had a chance to catch a glimpse of the envelope.
Objection!
No, she didn't. When Miss Mailer came with the delivery, Sir Belduk was still writing that letter. In fact, he was in the middle of it. At that time, the letter had not been addressed yet. And the next morning, when the body was discovered, the letter was already in the letterbox. Keep in mind that Miss Grayerl would have had no opportunity to see it then either. Is that so? She went to report the crime without even setting foot in the study. And then, Miss Mailer appeared and retrieved the letter. Needless to say, Miss Grayerl couldn't have learned of the letter's recipient afterwards. Or maybe you have a good explanation, Miss Grayerl. I'd very much like to hear one. Can you please tell the court how you found out the recipient's name?
Mr. Wright.
Yes?
Do you remember what I said when I was called to the witness stand?
I do.
At the heart of alchemy lies the pursuit of rules and logic that govern nature. You have demonstrated the power of your own logic.
Miss Grayerl, are you saying?
Yes.
I confess, boys, we got her. We got her, ladies and gentlemen. I hope it's about at the 2-hour mark, so hopefully we got her.
The abhorrent witch who used the spell Gador to swap the contents of the letter, and who took the life of Master Belduk. It was none other than I.
A confession? She just straight up confessed to being a witch. So now what happens?
I was an only child, born to a poor family. I've been a witch since I was very little. When did I become aware of it? I don't remember. Although I was but a young child, I knew that being a witch was a crime. That's why I hid my witch's scepter, and I wouldn't use magic at all.
Oh, she has parents! Oh no, what happens to them though? Because she doesn't have parents now.
My father worked as a bricklayer. He toiled every day, but we could hardly make ends meet. One winter day, we couldn't afford to pay the rent. We were going to lose the house. My mother was in tears, and my father was sitting with his head down, wordless.
I want money for Mummy and Daddy.
That day, I suddenly remembered about the witch's scepter that I had hidden.
Oh no. Oh no. This is a witch who uses the spell Goldor. Girl. My brain's going somewhere really dark. I don't know how this is gonna happen. She had parents. She doesn't have parents now. She's a witch who uses the spell Goldor. This whole case has been about a man named Professor Layton who's been turned to gold. Oh my god, did she like accidentally turn her parents to gold and trying to like get more money and wealth? I'm like so uncomfortably afraid that that is where this is going. The Goldor spell.
I thought I'd try it just once, casting the spell. But at the time, I had no idea what an irreversible mistake that would be. Even though no one told me, I knew from the very beginning what magic I was able to use. What should I turn into gold? Or what should I turn into gold? I was thinking about it really hard, the little girl that I was.
Okay, we did also find a gold animal in the basement of Sir Belduk's home. Maybe she just turned an animal to gold. So maybe it's not that dark.
Something that wouldn't stand out, that could be taken for a work of art. And then I decided. I chose a pretty leaf that had fallen into our garden. But it wasn't the right thing to do after all. I was terribly punished for using magic, even just the once.
Punished? In what way were you punished?
I placed the leaf down in the back garden, and I cast the spell, but then Margaret suddenly walked in front of me.
Margaret?
My closest childhood friend. Margaret, right before my eyes, she turned into gold.
Oh, dear me! Okay, so wait, is Margaret the animal that was in Sir Belduk's basement? So maybe it wasn't the parents. I might have gone way darker than this. I'm assuming Margaret might be an animal, because we saw animals in the background and this girl doesn't seem to have people friends.
I screamed and cried, but I knew I couldn't ask anyone for help. If anyone had seen it, they would have known it was the work of magic, and I knew Margaret wasn't coming back. That's terrible. Then, my mother and father's faces flashed before my eyes. We may have been very poor, but we were always happy together. Had I been captured as a witch, I feared my parents probably wouldn't be safe either. That thought tormented me more than anything. And so I made the decision. I decided to end my own life.
Oh my god! Oh my god! She tried to commit suicide?
I threw myself into the river near the town. It was winter and the water was as cold as ice.
I'm sorry. This was not a children's video game. This had to have at least been rated T for teen.
I couldn't even move. It was painful. My consciousness started drifting away.
And Sir Belduk rescued her? Yeah.
The next thing I knew, I was in Mr. Belduk's residence. He risked his own life, jumping into the freezing river to save me. I burst into tears and I told him everything. I didn't want to go back home. I would only end up causing my parents grief. Master Belduk listened to me without interrupting, and then he told me this.
You can stay here, but from now on, you must live as a boy.
Master Belduk met with my parents and explained everything to them.
I'm also pretty sure that every Ace Attorney game gets a T rating, but I'm not familiar with the Layton series. I didn't know if Layton as a series was more like, you know, I didn't know if they dealt with like murder and drugs and alcohol the way Layton does, or the way Phoenix does. I suppose it is probably common to both series, though.
They were very sad, but they agreed it would be best if I didn't return home. Poor Miss Grayle. That must have been so awful for her. Master bought the house for my parents, so they wouldn't have to worry about paying the rent anymore.
Wow, good guy, Belduk.
As for Margaret, turned into gold, he brought her into his residence.
Yeah, it was the gold animal.
He knew if anyone saw her, they would report an incident of witchcraft.
And this Miss Margaret, is she still in the Golden State?
Yes, she is.
That's strange. We have received no reports of anyone by that name having gone missing.
Margaret is being kept in the basement, under Master's study.
The basement? Yeah, Phoenix, you saw, right? Well, it's clicking for you. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this Margaret, is she a,
Yes. My dear friend was a goat that we were keeping at our house.
Well, that was your first problem, being a goat lady. A goat?
Until then, Master Belduk had mainly been researching medicine. But since the incident with Margaret, he became known as an alchemist.
So that's when he became an alchemist. I was wondering why the goat was the only thing not covered in dust.
And that's how I started a new life, as Master Belduk's butler.
Sir Belduk would sometimes work as a physician, curing the townspeople of their illnesses. As his assistant, you have also shown commitment to helping the townspeople through your work.
I forgot about being a witch, and was able to live happily, at peace with everyone. I thought I could stay like that forever.
But those peaceful days came to an abrupt end, I take it. Tell us, what in the world was the cause? Yeah, what was the cause? What went wrong?
Even I'm not quite sure what led to this. However, it all started 3 months ago with that lightning strike. Master Belduk and I were on our way back home, carrying specimens for experiments. An old bell tower appeared in the flames. Everyone who saw it was stupefied. But the expression on Master Belduk's face was unlike anything I'd seen before.
How do you mean?
His face went pale, and it twisted in sheer terror. He was shaking violently. It wasn't just astonishment at an unusual phenomenon. It seemed as if he was afraid of something more concrete.
Perhaps Sir Belduk saw something that the others couldn't.
He cancelled his experiments for the night, and he began writing a letter to someone.
A letter?
I found out about it when I brought him his bottle of tomato juice.
Wow. You really had that femboy look going for you.
He was writing feverishly as if he were possessed. I saw some things. A few words in that letter. Expose everything. Cannot keep the secret any longer. The truth about the witch.
I see how this is going.
But, you could have talked to him. Did you just kill him? Master Belduk, he was going to confess that I was a witch. Everything went black in front of my eyes. I'll never forget that feeling. It overwhelmed me at that moment.
Is that when you decided to commit the crime?
What I did first was accidentally singe a part of the wall in my room. It was an excuse to repaint that section of the wall green.
And then you also painted the wall behind that painting in Sir Belduk's study.
And when that fateful night came, I used a syringe to inject a soporific through the cork into the bottle of the tomato juice. So many thoughts were running through my head as I wished the master good night.
I'm sensing a couple of, logical inconsistencies in her story. First of all, the painting of the singeing of the wall is an excuse to paint it. All of this sounds like excessive premeditation that you would have to do at least a day in advance of knowing about of this night that you committed the murder. But she's saying that she found out about the letter and then presumably killed him that same evening, I'm guessing? Yeah, because he was found the next day dead. So, like, the timeline doesn't make the most sense to me as, like, she already brought him his tomato juice, but then learned about the letter, but then painted her walls and singed the walls so she could paint them, and then spiked the tomato juice. I don't know if it's, like, just regular plot holes in this game, or if there's, like, something I'm not getting in my head. It's a little bit weird, but it's a very tragic story nonetheless. And it's a confession. When it's a confession, my lawyer brain needs to be turned off. Listen, my job is to save Maya. It is not to save this woman. It sucks. Her life sounds terrible. I'm so sorry for her. But you're not Maya, so I gotta get Maya out of that cage.
I opened the portal behind him. He was right there, in front of me, asleep. I reached for the letter in the letterbox, taking care not to wake him. And then I happened to notice the name on the envelope. Storyteller. When I read the name, the world all around me turned black once more. It's impossible to avoid what is written by the storyteller. It seemed as if I could hear the doors to all escape routes shutting closed. It was the sound of despair. I would like you to believe me, that the thought of taking Master Belduk's life never once occurred to me. I only planned to steal the letter, and then disappear. But as I looked upon Master sleeping there, in front of me, at that moment, I felt an evil presence awaken within me. Why did he save my life? And why did he betray me? Before I realized what I was doing, my hands were clutching his neck. He didn't move at all, so I kept on clenching his neck.
Well, actually, I guess that actually answers my own question. Maybe no, it doesn't answer my question. Because the mail lady saw him delivering the letter. I was like, maybe she saw him delivering the letter and then did this the next day. But all of this transpired within the course of a single night, because the letter carrier came and saw him writing the letter, and she came back the very next morning. Yeah, it seems like a hole in logic to me.
That's the truth about what happened 3 months ago.
Well, once again, we've proven that someone else is a witch, not my client, but once again, I feel pretty terrible about it. Like, this doesn't feel very good at all. There's just one thing I fail to understand.
Yes?
You said you wanted to run away once you had stolen the letter. Yet, despite that, you continued to live in Sir Belduk's residence. And now, here you stand. Why did you not run away? She probably had nowhere to go.
My life had been thrown into disarray due to the absurdity of magic. I had learned all about alchemy, living at Master's residence. Alchemy is concerned with the logic that governs the world. I wanted to believe there was truly such a thing. So I stayed in that place, hoping to one day see the irrational nature of magic overcome by the power of reason.
Magic being overcome by reason. Dogface! Hi, George. Wow, I'm surprised you're playing past 9. Yeah, I am. It's a little bit out of character for me, but I think we're at the wrap-up here. We've got a confession. I can't stop it in the middle of a confession, right? That would just kill the energy.
That night, I swapped the letter with the blank sheet of parchment and waited for the sun to rise. I resolved to wait for the day when my true identity could be exposed through reason and logic. Master's death remained a mystery for 3 months, and people started to lose interest. And then you appeared, Mr. Wright. On the day you visited the residence, I was listening to your conversation from the other room. As the time finally come for me, my heart was racing with anticipation. Then, a few minutes after everyone entered the room, an unbelievable incident took place.
That incident?
A witch appeared in Master's study.
What?
I wanted to get a look at the witch, so I created a portal in the wall behind the painting. Precisely at that moment... Go Goldor!
Or Goldor. So she is admitting to being the witch in the first incident, but holy fuck, twist of events, she is not claiming to be the witch in the case of Professor Layton. This isn't good for us. This isn't good for Maya.
The witch used one of the various spells that I can use too. When I heard those words, a single thought flashed through my mind. This was my chance. I could dispose of my witch's scepter. I knew at the time what kind of a witch the Inquisition would be looking for.
A witch that can use Familia and Goldor.
It occurred to me that I only needed to change one of the magic gems. I had previously found out that the Familia gem was purple. I realized that if I swapped the Goldor magic gem with my amethyst, I could pin the blame for my crime on that other witch.
So you changed one of the gems and threw the witch's scepter into that room. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Objection!
But who was the other witch? Wait a minute. Jean Grey Earl! This statement of yours is highly problematic. How so, Inquisitor Barnum?
Yes, you're right.
Could someone explain to me what this is about?
I am a witch indeed. A sinful creature that killed the person to whom she owed her life. However, regarding the gentleman standing next to you, Mr. Wright, he may have fallen victim to a witch, but that witch was not me.
Oh. What? Oh my god, you're shitting me. Is this not over? Order! In the court! What in the fuck is going on? What is the meaning of this? Jean Grey Earl admits to killing Sir Belduk, but not turning Sir Layton into gold. That is the gist of it, my lord. But lying about it is meaningless. Lying?
Just being a witch is a crime in and of itself. And if the punishment for that crime is the same, regardless whether she took one person's life or two, that's why there'd really be no point in lying about it. I'm sure that's what the judge is thinking.
But Grey Earl is still claiming she never laid a finger on the professor. If there's no point in lying, then that means she's telling the truth?
So, in that case, who's responsible for what happened to the professor? If it wasn't her, who was it?
It's like Drag Race, it'll never end. Oh god, please don't say Maya, please don't say Maya, please don't say Maya. Mind if I say something? Oh god, why? Why? What do you have to say? Take a hint, witness. Does it feel like this is the right moment for you to talk? Well, that's kind of what I was saying quiet till now, but I either say it now or never. Well, don't simply say silent after saying all that. It only makes it weigh on my mind more. Whatever did you want to say? Where is this going? Oi, Bluey! Yeah? I need to make sure about something. Me head's not what it used to be, you know. Right, uh-huh. The alchemist's butler, Lady Butler, she slipped sleep medicine into his drink. That's correct. Yep, laced the tomato juice. And he strangled the alchemist afterwards. Yep, that's correct. He was unconscious from the sleep medicine, so he didn't resist. Where are you going with this? Oh, about that. I had a slip earlier about what I did at the crime scene, right? I told you that I had a few sips of the juice. Right, and then you fell asleep, yeah. Well, here's the thing. This is just between us, okay? You see, when I appropriated that juice, the juice bottle was, well, still unopened. What? My throat was parched, and I wasn't thinking straight. That brand new bottle was just there, waiting for me corkscrew, conveniently laid next to it. Couldn't let it go to waste. I swiftly pulled the cork and got to drinking. What? So in case you don't get what I'm saying, the alchemist didn't have a single drop of the juice with the sleep medicine. What? Amir, why are you doing this to me? What does that even mean? She confessed to the crime, so like, does it matter? Witness, you went to the trouble of opening a bottle found at a crime scene just to drink its suspicious contents? That's damn straight. Was dying of thirst. That doesn't justify what you've done! Amir, please, stop talking. The Inquisition shall deal with this witness after the trial. He will find out what it means to be dying of thirst in a more literal meaning. However, let us not waste any more time with him now. The witch has confessed to her crimes. There is no need to investigate Sir Belduk's death any further. Indeed, you are right, Inquisitor. Her role in the Sir Layton incident is not entirely clear. But the person who kills their protector, to whom she owes her very life, can be nothing other than a witch. It is weird though, right? Because, like, if he didn't drink the juice, then that means he wasn't sleeping or passed out, which means when she went to choke him, he should have fought back, because he should have been awake and, like, able to fight back. So that raises some red flags, like, did something else knock him out? Was he already dead? What's going on there? There's something sketch there. Do we have to investigate it right now? Belduk didn't drink the juice that night. If that's true, there's something here that doesn't add up. Mr. Wright, I have to say, there's something about this that's bothering me. I'm sure there's a contradiction lurking in that man's testimony. You think so, Luke? Can I really turn a blind eye to that? I'd like to, but I feel like we have to investigate this contradiction. You're saying you opened the tomato juice bottle, but that claim contradicts with a certain piece of evidence. What? Defense, I'd like a word with you. Yes, Your Honor? At this point, your client's innocence has already been established. Therefore, whether there is a contradiction in that man's testimony or not should no longer be of any of your concern. Right, but I'm Phoenix Wright, and I always find the truth. This happens sometimes. The true duty of an attorney is to uncover the truth of what happened. My job's not done until there are no more contradictions left. Very well. Sir Blue Knight, let us hear about this contradiction you have discovered. The bottle was first opened by that guy, meaning Belduk didn't drink any of it. That means there's one piece of evidence that should be very difficult to explain. The liquid coming out of his mouth, for sure. Alright, let's present it. I think that's what it is, at least. I'm pretty confident. If I'm wrong, then I have egg on my face. The contradiction can be seen in one of the sketches of the crime scene. In one of the sketches? Please take a look at Sir Belduk's mouth. Yeah. We can see a line of red liquid trickling down from his mouth. Yes, well, we've already established that that was tomato juice. Oh! Exactly, Your Honor. Sir Belduk didn't drink any of the tomato juice that night. Which means there's only one other possibility. That red line is, as we thought first of all, blood. Sir Belduk must have tried to fight back the assailant and bit his tongue in doing so. No. Unfortunately, that would only bring us back to the problem we encountered earlier. Earlier? If the victim had put up a fight, then there should have been traces of a struggle at the crime scene. But no such traces were found. Right. That's what made you assume the witch must have used Familia. Yes, that is so. As I explained before, Master Belduk didn't struggle at all at the time. But when I think about it now, in light of the new information, it was very unnatural. The victim didn't drink the soporific, yet he didn't struggle. But what does that mean? He was already dead. If it's not tomato juice nor blood, then what else could it be? Since it's not tomato juice, we have to assume it's blood after all.
Ah, that's what it's gotta be.
Soon George is gonna be a marathon streamer. I know there's just not a good stopping point. It's boiling up. I thought we were done, but now there's another twist. If this seems like it's gonna go on to like a whole nother set of group testimonies, I will cut it. But I don't really know where we're going right now. We have ruled out the possibility that the victim bit his tongue while struggling with the attacker. Indeed, there's got to be a different reason for the blood being there. He must have suffered internal bleeding that was somehow connected to his death, but what could have caused it? Your Honor, if I may ask one question. A question to whom? If I can clarify this one suspicion, I may be able to explain the blood shown in the sketch. That's why I need to question one person in particular. Barnum, Grey Earl, Amir? Probably the butler, right? She would have the most information on the guy. I have a question for Miss Grey Earl. Yes, Mr. Wright? On the day of the crime, did anything go missing from the crime scene?
Missing, such as... the tomato juice that a certain person drank, you mean?
Yeah, something like that, but was there anything else?
I'm afraid I cannot say. You may remember that I didn't enter Master's study that day, not even once. If I may be so bold as to make a suggestion, perhaps it would be wiser to ask someone who went into the Master's study.
Wow, okay, oops. Alright, I'll try again. Please don't penalize me. Please don't penalize me. Okay, good. We got a second. Oh, no, oops, sorry. No, damn it. Fuck. Oh, now I'm gonna get a penalty for sure. The A button, you know, it gets the best of me sometimes because I'm trying to speed through unnecessary dialogue and then I get tripped up. Fuck off. Yeah. Sorry, it was an accident. This judge. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. I see that you are going back to your bread baking days. Okay, careful with our A buttons. Let's finger the right guy this time. Mr. Amir, you're the last person I want to talk to, but you're the last person I have to talk to. Can I ask you something?
No, nothing. Got nothing to tell.
I'm not listening to the singing guy. He'd be better off without that bard. You drank the tomato juice that was at the crime scene, right?
Don't keep asking me about that over and over again. So what if I did?
Then I have another question for you. Did anything else disappear from the crime scene that day?
I didn't notice anything.
Objection!
Witness! Just what have you done this time? You look like a dog caught making a mess on the carpet. Okay, so he stole something. That's good.
I don't know about anything going missing. I'm innocent, pal. Believe me.
Looks like my gut feeling was right. He stole something from the crime scene. Something that could be directly connected to that red liquid around Belduk's mouth. The poison. Oh my god. The thing is shoving down his gullet the entire fucking trial. A certain item disappeared from the crime scene that day, and at this very moment, it's highly likely that item is right in front of our very own fucking eyes. It's here. Isn't that right, mister?
Is it I have no idea.
Defender, I order you to show us what this item is. An item that the witness took from the crime scene.
Got it.
Death. The bottle of poison. It's this bottle. The bottle? Miss Grayroll, I'd like you to clarify something for me.
What would that be, Mr. Wright?
Sir Belduk was working on creating certain medicines. He had various dangerous substances in his possession as well. How were they stored?
Master kept them in a locked medicine cabinet. The bottles were labeled so that it was very clear that they were dangerous. They have all been confiscated.
As for those labels, did they resemble the label on that guy's bottle?
Oh my goodness, I'm noticing it for the first time! What are you doing with the products of Master's research?
It's not what you think. I don't have any evil intentions or nothing.
That bottle belonged to Master, and it was used to store strong poison. Poison strong enough to kill.
Poison? What? The red liquid trickling down Sir Belduk's mouth was definitely blood. Now, as for what caused him to bleed like that from his mouth, it was the deadly poison from the bottle the guy stole at the crime scene.
That's outrageous. What?
Dude, I don't know what kind of stomach you got, but this is almost impressive now.
Order! Wow. You expect me to just keep quiet? It was poison? Am I gonna die?
Objection!
I don't know, dude. You've been drinking a lot. Just wait and see, time will tell.
Yeah, I guess.
More importantly, I want to know why you have that bottle.
Well, that's, remember how I told you I drank the alchemist's tomato juice?
Indeed, it is not something that we all forget.
Well, that's when I saw it on the floor, the bottle. It was totally empty, and I thought, you know, it's such a fancy-looking bottle and all. I'm a bit of a skull.
Oh, right. It's been 3 months. Of course he's refilled it with other alcohol. That makes sense.
So since it was there, I was there too, and it kind of felt like we were meant for each other. I thought, this bottle's so classy. I could die for it.
You very well may have. Had any poison been left in the bottle, you would have died instantly. But if it was empty, it probably was harmless.
Oh, you hear that? I'm gonna live. Good thing I rinsed it well before use.
Jesus Christ. Dude. Dude. But if the victim was killed by poison, that raises a new question, of course. Who could have poisoned him? Well, considering all the evidence and the testimonies we've heard today, the answer is so close I can taste it. Sir Belduk was poisoned by probably himself. I think it was a suicide. Yeah. And I think the letter was it was an expose letter. Let me expose all and end it all. Let me kill myself. Sir Belduk killed himself. Sir Belduk himself? Sir Belduk took that poison of his own will. His death was suicide. Alright. If we don't solve the Layton thing, we're at least solving this Belduk thing. That is preposterous. A suicide, inconceivable. Think about it, Inquisitor. That would explain the most unnatural aspect of his death. The most unnatural aspect? Miss Greyerl, when you were strangling Sir Belduk, he put up no fight whatsoever. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Until today, I was convinced it was due to the sleep medicine.
It wasn't, because he didn't take any. The truth is, when you gripped his throat, Sir Belduk was already dead. He had poisoned himself. Ugh. Well, that's good news, girl. You didn't kill anybody. But the bad news is you did confess to being a witch. But would the poison have caused him to bleed from his mouth? I personally know of no poison that works instantly and causes such symptoms. Oh, you don't? Are you a scientist now or an alchemist?
There are certain plants in this area that contain highly poisonous substances. In the course of his research, Master Belduk found a way to extract that poison.
What am I hearing? Is there really such a dangerous plant in Labyrinthia?
The poison is very bitter to taste, so it would be impossible to secretly slip it into someone's food or drink. And it would cause internal damage. It's a very powerful poison, and drinking it would induce the most painful death.
And to think Sir Belduk could. But did Sir Belduk really choose such an agonizing death for himself? It doesn't seem like he suffered that much.
I would like to know that too.
Miss Greyerl, you mean to say the Master killed himself after exposing me as a witch? Oh, wow, I messed all of that up. Sorry, that was Greyerl.
I can't believe it. He wouldn't just commit suicide.
Indeed, we cannot take such a theory at face value. Had he committed suicide, I dare say he would have left a suicide note. I can't say why Sir Belduk committed suicide, but I think there's a piece of evidence that can confirm his suicide was a possibility. There's a piece of evidence like that. Yeah, the note. If you have such evidence, you ought to present it to the court immediately. Alright, well listen, I will do it, but honestly, I better be getting paid overtime for this. This trial's gone on longer than anything I've ever played before. I think it's the letter. That's Sir Belduk's letter. Let's see. It was addressed to the storyteller, wasn't it? This is the last letter written by Sir Belduk. Now, if his death was a suicide, then this letter may well be his suicide note. What we have here is nothing more than blank sheets of parchment. Whether or not there was a suicide note is something we can only speculate about. Yeah, that's right. But there's one person who knows whether this letter was really a suicide note. You mean the person who swapped its contents? In other words, you, Jean Greyerl, witness, you stole Sir Belduk's letter on the night of the crime. Tell us, what was written in it?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I did steal the letter, yes, but I don't know what its contents were.
You haven't read it?
I couldn't bring myself to read it. It seems that if I did, everything that had happened since Master Belduk saved my life would be ruined in an instant. I've taken it out and held it in my hands many times, but no matter what, I just couldn't read it. Miss Greyerl?
Can you tell us where the letter is now?
I have it here.
Oh, great! Let's read it. You're carrying it around with you? If you were searched, you would have been done for.
That night, having killed Master Belduk, I decided to stay in his residence. I knew my identity would be revealed sooner or later. I was ready for it.
Oh my god, this poor girl.
So, until that time, I decided to always keep the letter with me. My lord,
Yes, Witchness.
if you don't mind, could you please read the letter aloud? Now that I'm here, in this place of judgment, I think I'm finally ready to hear what the Master wrote.
Hold it!
Uh-oh.
Miss Grayer,
Oh!
I think you should be the one to read it.
I think she should.
Me?
Yeah.
Sir Belduk wrote this letter to the storyteller as he was preparing to die. I think it's only right his last words should be read by you.
Yes, you're right. I see. I understand. Please allow me to read the letter aloud.
Okay, girl. Are you gonna do it for me? Tamlia! Thank you for the $1! That's my overtime pay.
donated $1. I'm going to bed
My
late tonight
dear
despite work calling for early mornings. But this case is honestly my favorite in this game, so I'm glad to just keep watching it.
Aw, thank you so much for being here. Oh, man.
Friend,
My dear
I
friend.
hope you will be able to forgive me for leaving this world of my own will. I have finally made this decision, having seen that accursed bell tower
appear in the flames on that dreadful night.
So, the storyteller was his dear friend of the alchemist, and he made the decision after seeing the
That
bell
lightning
tower.
was a sign that we have angered the gods. What I have done cannot be forgiven. I can never escape from it. For the past few days, I have been thinking that it might be best to simply expose everything. This town's secret, the truth about the witch. Of course, I understand that secrets need to be kept. However, I have grown very tired. I'm afraid I cannot keep the secret any longer. I have only two concerns. The first is my daughter. It pains me to be leaving her alone in this world, although she probably doesn't think of me as her father.
That's you, sweetie!
Daughter? I was not aware that Sir Belduk had a daughter.
Mr. Belduk seemed to know a lot about this town. This town's secret, and the truth about the witch.
Truth about the witch? Somehow I don't think he was talking about Miss Grayer.
Oh. The second matter, weighing heavily on my mind, is that Jean will be left on her own.
Oh. Oh,
Seeing
Jean
her
was not the
grow,
daughter.
So strong and righteous
Oops.
in defiance of
I
her
thought he
fate
viewed Jean as
had
his
given me
daughter.
hope.
Ooh, awkward. Alright, but you're still in the letter, sweetie. Alright, so who is his daughter then?
A short while ago, she brought me my usual, and what will be my last, drink. There are so many things I wanted to tell her, but I could only manage a thank you. She is a very sharp child. Had I said any more, she would have caught on. You could call me a selfish man, but I didn't wish my last memory of her to be a sad one.
Master Belduk. If the fate handed to her by this town has made her life an ordeal until now, I hope from the bottom of my heart that a wonderful story awaits her next. I intend to leave my residence to her, and I would like you to look out for her.
Alas, it is time for me to put my pen down. My dear friend, what I truly wish to express to you is too complicated for words. I hope one day you will understand, but for now I bid you farewell. The time has come for me to go.
Oof. Alright, well this time I'm like 95% sure we've solved the case. The Sir Belduk case. The Layton case, God forbid. Who knows what happened there.
This letter, it wasn't a denunciation of me being a witch.
Nope.
Master Belduk cared about you. until the very end.
Yes, how could I have forgotten? I'm sure I knew it all along. So why did I? How could I have done that to him?
On the plus side, he was already dead. Oh god, this is tragic. Miss Graelle. My lord. What is it, Inquisitor Barnum? I think it is about time. For the guilty verdict. Guilty? The Inquisition withdraws the charges against Maya Fey, and charges Jean Graelle with being a witch. All the evidence corroborates this accusation, and she even admits her guilt. Hence, the Inquisition asks that the witch be found guilty and punished immediately.
Objection!
Yeah, I don't know if we're okay with this. Not so fast, Inquisitor Barnum. What do you want now, Sir Blue Knight? Admittedly, Miss Graelle did attempt to strangle Sir Belduk. Yep, she did attempt murder, but he was already dead, so I think that means it's okay. Therefore, she is not guilty of murder. And one more thing, while we're at it. It also wasn't Miss Graelle who turned Professor Layton into gold. There was another witch present at the crime scene. The defendant Maya saw her too. She's just chilling in that cage. To put it simply, Miss Graelle didn't kill anyone. Yeah, she didn't kill anyone, and yet you still want to burn her? Maya? Do you even know how it feels to be put in this cage? Like, honestly, it's like everyone's against you, and it's like super frightening. I'm not even a witch! But I've been thrown into this cage and almost sentenced for something I didn't do. And now you're about to do the same thing to another person. That's just not right. Is that all you have to say? Huh? The one who's in the wrong is not me, but you, Sir Blue Knight. Whether the witch committed a crime or not is completely irrelevant. This is the witch's court. All witches must be punished by fire. But that's crazy! Why, Barnum? Oh god. We gotta kind of fight back against this or something. We can't let her burn too. Inquisitor Barnum is absolutely right. Being a witch is a crime. You understand that, don't you, Miss Graelle? Yes. Very well. The court is ready to issue the final verdict. Maya Fey is found innocent, and in her place, Jean Graelle is found guilty of being a witch and shall be cast into the fire.
No, you can't!
Phoenix, I think we have to raise an objection. Oh! Luke?
Please!
Espella?
Verdict!
Espella?
Espella?
What is it now, Espella Cantabella?
Yeah, what are you doing, girl? Are you gonna save the day for us?
There is nothing else we can do. This is the course of things, and you should know it well.
Indeed. All witches shall be cast into the flames.
Yeah.
That is the law of this town. A law that was written by your very own father.
Ooh. Yeah. Alright, well listen, Espella, you better have a talk with Daddy.
A law that has always been obeyed in the town of Labyrinthia.
A town like this should never exist in the first place.
Bold statement to make.
What? Such insolence!
Yeah, that's not gonna sit well with our audience.
She's criticizing the storyteller's story! Even the storyteller's daughter has no right to criticize the story!
Trials in which innocent people are sentenced to death by fire. I shall make sure this is the last one.
What do you mean, Espella?
Yeah, girl, what do you mean? Let's not make any rash decisions.
Since you're also keen on the rules created by the storyteller, you should know exactly what I mean.
No, let's be careful.
The stipulation for ending the witch trials. Once the Great Witch Bazella is burned, the witch trials will end.
No. Girl, let's regroup.
Present, I am under suspicion. You know very well why that is, don't you?
You? Well, you don't mean that you're,
I am guilty.
Ah! Girl, listen, I'm already in overtime here. I don't have time to defend you right now.
What?
Now, cast me into the flames and let Miss Graelle free.
Oh my god. Can one of my clients not confess to crimes for me, please? That would be really helpful.
This shall be the last of the witch trials. No one else need be burned hereafter.
Espella, just what are you saying?
Yeah, let's
I can't
calm
let
down.
You do that.
We really can't.
Please, Mr. Wright, let me do as I wish.
I'm sorry, you're a main character. Actually, she's only a main character in this game, so quite frankly, I think all bets are off and she could die.
Sorry, but this is a problem concerning the people of Labyrinthia.
No! Please don't do it!
There must be
please
another
don't.
way. You don't need to do this.
No, you really don't.
It's all right. Luke, Maya, Mr. Wright, and Mr. Layton, I truly appreciate all you have done for me.
This can't be happening.
Miss Cantabella, your confession will have very serious, or rather, fatal consequences for you. May we assume that you fully understand those consequences and are willing to accept them?
I am Espella Cantabella, the storyteller's daughter. But I also have another name. I am the Great Witch Bezella.
You're really gonna put an uphill battle for
hidden
me.
in the dark pages of my father's story, deceiving all of you. Many lives have been sacrificed because of me. But that shall end today.
Court attendants, seize that woman! She is the Great Witch, Bezella.
Okay, well listen, let me throw my lawyer badge back on. Let's go to another trial today. Oh, cutscene time. Hi, sweetie. Oh, that's how they get into the cage. That makes remarkably a lot of sense.
Espella.
All right. Well, do I get a chance to defend her? Cause she's not going down. Phoenix, you're gonna object, right? Oh, Maya, what are you doing? Oh! Ah, Maya! Okay.
Espella, this just isn't right.
Okay,
Let's go.
we're doing a revolution. I'm here for it.
Hand.
Yeah, Daddy Nick, he's put into action. Oh my God, it's an action show now.
Jump over there.
Oh, but please be careful, girl. Let's not fall into the fire, ladies.
Hurry.
They're getting away!
Oh! Okay, you're fine. You're safe. You're okay. Just be careful. Oh, jeez! Oh, Daddy Nick. Wait! Ah! No!
Maya!
Help me, Nick.
Wait, they can't.
Espella! Quick, in here!
What are they doing? No, what are you doing? You can't do it to Maya! She was a witch! No, stop it! You gotta stop! Maya? Oh my God. Wow. Main character logic would dictate that Maya is gonna be okay and survive that. But as someone who has grown very close to Maya over the course of 3 Phoenix Wright games, what I just watched was very difficult to watch. I'm gonna go. And I'm gonna check in tomorrow. And, and we're gonna see what happens next. I had one job, and that was to not let Maya fall into the hellfire.